Hello everyone, and welcome back to Curse of Strahd, Twice Bitten, the show where 5 DMs take on D&D's top gothic horror campaign. As always, I'm Dragna Carta, Jesus Christ, I cannot speak, your host and DM. Welcome all, happy to have you here. As a quick announcement, which I forgot to disclose at the end of last session, after finding the holy symbol of Ravenkind, not Ravenloft, again, working the speech out.
Do you want to take this from the top?
Nah, we'll keep going. Fuck it, we'll do it live. All right, so our lovely, beloved PCs have hit 10th level, so congratulations to them.
Yay!
Love that for us.
Woo!
That's our last level. God
as much as they beg and plead, they will not get 11th. Not before the epilogue.
So that means
we found.
Although I intend to be level 20 at the epilogue.
We found a certain blade that
that can
if
do
we want to,
magical
we
thing.
can actually just be level 20.
What if we leave and go to Berez? Could we get a milestone there?
I wish. Look.
You know
look,
what?
as much as
I also wish that we could be level 20.
As much as I want to beat up Baba, we can leave her alone.
Leave my Baba alone.
And
She's
besides,
great.
we don't even have to go that far. There's still one Taroka treasure we haven't picked up yet.
It's true, and that's a milestone. So
It's a milestone.
How you doing, gang?
I'm not held contractually obligation to do every single milestone for every single.
No,
character,
I'm
God
pretty
damn
sure
it.
you are.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure
That's
Oh,
in the
see,
contract we
yeah.
signed at the
That's
beginning
what
of
Chris
this.
Perkins rules is written. intended.
Yeah.
And its rules is written. So
But is Chris Perkins
that's-
gonna sue me?
Yeah, he
Yes.
is. Yeah, he's gonna
Fuck.
show up at your house and serve you.
he's gonna break your knees himself.
Oh no. Well, on that note, on someone who probably has some sort of contractual right to break my knees, Kaya, I believe you had an announcement to give off.
Indeed. I am not the one with the power to break Dragna's knees, but Lillison probably does. I have written a physical copy of every single letter that Lillison has sent to Strahd. They are nicely written with my fountain pen on aged-looking paper and sealed with Lillison's own wax seal, and I am holding a giveaway for the entire set. So one lucky viewer or listener is going to be able to finally see what she has been writing to Mr., tall, dark, and murderous himself. In order to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is post about us somewhere, write a review on Apple Podcasts, tweet about us, write a post on Reddit about specifically your favorite moment in the series so far. Email proof of that. It can be a link, it can be a screenshot to us at twicebittencos@gmail.com, and you will be entered into the giveaway. This will close on Christmas Day, December 25th, and I will draw a winner at random then, and I will get in touch with you and get your physical address in order to send this set to you. So go forth, evangelize about us, please.
If you are sending us an email, please put in big bold letters giveaway in the subject line so that we know, and sometimes stuff goes to spam automatically. So giveaway would be a really big help for that.
Excellent idea, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you, Serena. Very excited to see the lucky winner of that particular contest. And I think that's all of our announcements for today. So jumping right back in where we left off, in the dark, dank depths of Castle Ravenloft, let's get started with Curse of Strahd, Twice Bitten. And welcome back, everyone. So, last we left off on Twice Bitten. After 2 quiet days in Vallaki spent purchasing supplies, scavenging for spell components, strategizing for the battle ahead, and enjoying a magically delicious hero's feast, our unlikely heroes set off down the old Svalich road, riding Strahd's black carriage to the gates of Castle Ravenloft. Crossing the drawbridge of the Dark Keep, our companions traversed the castle grounds, coming at last to the balcony that overlooked the village of Barovia far below. Rappelling down through the clever use of ropes and climbers' kits, and guided by Davian's eyes and wings, the party descended to the stained glass windows that guarded the tomb of King Barov and Queen Ravenovia. Upon entering the catacombs beyond the royal's tomb, the party split up to search for both Patrina's tomb and the tomb of the guild member, as foretold by Madame Ava. As they searched, Erthrendir uncovered a magical longsword, concealed beneath a layer of brown, freezing mold. And Metreon was spirited away by a magical teleport trap to a coffin in a cavern beneath the crypts, though soon rescued by Kiva. Soon after, Lillison found the guild member's tomb and the holy symbol of Ravenkind within. As Kiva attuned to the symbol and Lillison to the sword, Amity uncovered the tomb of Sergei von Zarevich. After a brief, poignant moment, Irina allowed the companions to retrieve Sergei's enchanted armor, and returning to their companions for a brief rest to recuperate. And so we return to the catacombs beneath Castle Ravenloft. As the companions cluster in small crypts, the blank, unnamed crypt that once held the illusory corpse of Erthrendir, another dedicated to the architect of the castle, and a third where Kiva and Irina find themselves hunkered down in Irina's own epigraphed tomb. Save for the chirping and squeaking of bats, the rustling of tiny wings, and the fog that softly rolls through the dank, dark catacombs, you find yourselves quite alone. As some of you take your rest and others prepare for the trials ahead, Amity returning, leading the expedition to the tomb back as Metreon, with others' help, carries back Sergei's enchanted plate armor. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, I'd say that Kiva would hear the clattering as Metreon, with as much of the armor as he can bundled in his arms, just kind of like dumps it at her feet. There you go, love.
Kiva just sort of looks at it very carefully. This might be a bit of a stretch, but does she understand with the way that rage is and works that she might have not really thought this through all that well?
She would get a pretty good feeling looking over how bulky it is, because heavy armor is not really something you've worn very often before. You tend to be a much more flexible, fast-moving fighter, a lot more mobile. This is heavy, clunky, and you're realizing now as you look down at with all the straps and the different plates covering each portion of your limbs and torso, that the very free-flowing movements that you use when tapping into that well of rage and power within yourself would probably be pretty well hindered while wearing this kind of bulky getup.
I appreciate you getting it for me, but thinking about it, I don't really know if it's a good idea for me to be wearing it. I think it might slow me down quite significantly, so perhaps we can I think Ismark seems strapping enough to use it, don't you?
Oh, I mean, quite strapping. Please.
Yes.
Want to take a look at this?
Of course. You said this came from the he kind of coughs a little awkwardly. that tomb you found, right?
Yeah, just some bloke's tomb. I don't know. He's related to Strahd some way. Do we, out of character, do we know that he's his brother, or just that he's related?
You just know that, I believe. Let me just check the phrase.
Because we saw his name, but we didn't.
Yeah, you know that he's a von Zarevich. You don't know anything more about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's something to Strahd. His crypt was pristine by comparison. Everything else is kind of shit here. So, yeah, I mean, try it out.
Ismark kind of grimaces with a quiet grin. It's not that I mind, it's just Will. He kind of looks down at his own current armor. Well, I suppose that this was not exactly obtained firsthand either, so I suppose as long as it is being put to a good use.
Yeah, I mean, what's he doing with it? Just laying in there, you know? He's not getting any use out of it. You should try it.
He nods and like reaches out very gingerly for the armor. You get the sense that he's kind of like dreading. I mean, he saw Sorga. He saw that he wasn't, you know, that he was mostly all there. But you can sense he's kind of dreading, like, oh no, is there gonna be like a bit of like rotten skin or like a bone in here? Like he's getting very much kind of spooky.
Love, the dead don't sell you insurance. I think you can just put it on.
Right.
It's
yes.
okay.
Yes. Okay. And he will take the plate armor and begin inspecting it. And as others kind of take their time to rest and recuperate, he's going to start figuring out how to put it back on. Which is a pretty substantial AC boost, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Up by 3.
Damn.
If we find our boy a shield, then he is going to be tanky as hell.
Love that for him. Love him. And yeah, of course, Metron will do his best to help down the armor with Ismark, of course.
Best way to know how to doff it is to don it.
Well, I mean, he's used to doffing, so this is an experience, a learning experience for him. So.
All right, so while Ismark is re-armoring, what is everyone else doing? I know that Kaya was Lilison was attuning to the blade, and Kiva to the holy symbol. What's everyone else doing?
Yeah, I mean, Metron would help with the armor, but then, I mean, I assume that only takes, what, like a half hour, or like, how long does that take?
What are you attuning to?
I'm not attuning to anything. I was just going to help Ismark put on the armor, but if that doesn't...
yeah, it'll take a good 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, then yeah, after that, I'd probably follow Amity around if she's still looking at stuff. If not, then I'd be chilling in the crypt with Kiva and Ismark in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once Amity finishes slapping some X's on tomb doors that conceal magical things, she'll go and reconnoiter with the group for a little rest.
Yep. Aerith will also do so.
Okay.
Though about 10 minutes before the last person's rest ends, Aerith will do something. Presuming we're not interrupted.
You seem to have some time. It seems to be relatively quiet.
All right. He coughs, kind of looking between the crypts, seeming uncomfortable. All right. Well, when we're done here, and once we've gotten the magic stuff, then battle begins. I think we all know that. And there's a good chance that not all of us make it out here alive. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am going to say is this. None of us are the same people we were when we started this adventure. Adventure? God, what am I talking about? When we started this nightmare. I don't think if you plopped us down next to that group having berries at a campfire on the road and shooting the shit with each other, I don't think they'd recognize us. I barely recognize them. And that may be a bad thing. That when we get out of here, we may find that we aren't the kind of people who can be happy anymore, or at least be normal. But for now, it has done something important. It has made us the kind of people who can kill a vampire. I've fought by all your sides. I know your bravery, your strength, your kindness. And I know you're going to do this. Because my strongest weapon isn't my magic. It's not my smarts. It's you. And it's always been. Good luck. And Earthrendir is going to give all of you 13 points of temporary HP.
I love that.
What?
How many people get this?
6.
All right, so who's the... does it include yourself?
It does include myself.
Okay, who is the 6th person getting it then?
Irina.
All right, Irina will take 6 points or 13?
13.
God damn. All right, I will happily give those to her.
You just gave me like another quarter of my HP.
Yep. It's a great ability. And then he will start giving another speech, much quieter to the other people who couldn't hear and weren't inspired the first time.
Wait, you can do it multiple times per short rest?
Yes. The only restriction is I can't do it to the same people.
Ah, wow. All right.
So
all
yes,
right. Should I give...
a separate inspiring speech happens to other people.
I just
We
like,
can
are you just like
stay
going
with
from
that.
crypt to crypt, giving like reciting the same speech?
It's
but,
not
like,
the
slightly
same
tweaked?
speech. He knows his audience, but he's
All right.
you know he's playing the crowd.
Fair. Do you have to re-roll each time?
No, it's my level plus my charisma mod.
All right. So I will give Kaz, Ismark, Ez, and Davian 13 temporary hit points.
Yes, just before our short rest comes to a close.
Yep. And they last until what time?
Forever, or until we next take a long rest.
Wow. Okay then.
Okay,
we-
now
but
there's gonna
we-
be fireballs. Great.
It's the same rules apply, right? Though, like if we lose them, they're gone.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least until we next take a short rest and I do it again.
Understood. Oh wait, we get them back. Oh my god, that's so cool.
I know, right?
Oh my
Well,
god.
I mean, wait, we get them back as in Earthrendir gives us another speech, right?
As in, Earthrendir gives you another speech.
Okay, so
Okay,
if he
alright.
lives, then we'll get them back.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
beautiful. We just need to find 10 minutes to let him pontificate.
This has
Well-
so many implications for like motivational speakers in the D&D
I know,
world.
right? They can make
Yeah.
some killer fees.
Well, on that note, is there anything else that
Yes.
people would like to do during their short rest?
Chillin'.
Chilling.
All right. Very good. In
Looking-
that case,
Amity
Yes.
would like to end the short rest with Raries and Detect Magic fresh, which means probably not gaining the benefits of a short rest, given that there's ritual casting happening during it.
yes, that's correct.
Reasonable.
Lillison is just looking very hard at this sword.
Kiva's doing the exact same thing with the holy symbol.
Love it. On that note, you both come to the end of your short rest and attunements. And I will add these to your inventories.
Woo woo!
You both learn the features and abilities of the magical items that you have attuned to. And are now capable of using those abilities, should you be capable of doing so.
Ew.
Earth coughs, his voice a bit, like, raspy from all the motivational speaking he's been doing. Right. So we're gonna go do the magic circuit and then get Petrina, correct?
So here's a question out of character. Did Kaz already go to her crypt and open it, or is he just
No,
like,
the door is
looking
closed.
at it? Okay,
He just kind of like had an emotional moment there for a bit and then went off to join the rest of you.
gotcha. Okay,
He's waiting for the rest of you to join him.
Right, as far as I know, we're gonna go around the magic crypts with the X's on them, break them open, and then I'm gonna try something, depending on what we find, that might get us to even more magic loot,
Ooh.
and then Petrina.
Yep. Well then, a sentence I never thought I'd say. Let's do some tomb robbing.
All right, so there were a number of tombs. Going down my list, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tombs pinged the detect magic. So, shall I assume you're just starting at the
Work our
top
way
left
down,
side
baby.
by the guild member's tomb and just kind of working your way across?
Sure.
All right. So the first tomb that you find yourself outside of is the tomb of Saint Markovia. dead for all time. You do recall that having approached it prior, Lillison appeared to activate some sort of trap or pressure plate in front of it that released several darts. But Emily did detect magic on the other side of the side.
Can we see where the pressure plates that triggered that are?
It seemed to be just like a 10-foot square section of stone floor immediately before the door to the crypt.
Oof. All right. And they shot out in the what direction? Or screw it. Aerith will kind of motion for the others to hit the deck, and then will slowly reach out with his crowbar and slowly depress the plate.
Okay. Using the crowbar, slowly pushing it down. Is anyone else staying near Earthrendir, or is everyone just kind of backing off?
Oh no, when he said hit the deck, I'm at least 10 feet away.
We are hitting that deck.
All right. So Earthrendir, I will note that when you use the crossbow, you would have seen when Lillison activated it that some people got hit who were not standing on the pressure plate.
That's a problem. All right, yeah, okay, never mind. That's silly. Wait, we're immune to poison. What the fuck am I doing? Let's just do this. And Aerith just steps forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
Metreon crouches as low to the floor as possible.
Amity's behind a crypt.
Lillison is still,
Beautiful.
like, back in somebody else's crypt, still looking at the sword, so nowhere near all of this.
Understandable.
All right, so 4 darts will come shooting out toward Earthrendir.
Yes.
That's going to be 3 misses and 1 critical hit.
Exciting.
You suffer 6 points of piercing damage and no poison damage.
Oh no! If only I had temporary hit points.
Don't get snarky with me, buddy.
It's what I'm born to do.
Did you see where they came from? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm plenty fine. It just went in the motivation. Don't worry about it. And did he see where they came from?
Yes. You saw in general some areas where they came from. You can attempt a closer look if you want to see the specific holes. Well,
I would. I would like to see if I can block those with something. Like,
Sure.
take a big tube of wax and just smush it in there.
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
Oh.
Or you could take a full minute to...
No, I'll take investigation with advantage. It's like I'm candy. 28.
Yes, you find all of the tiny holes in the walls. They have been obscured behind dust and cobwebs, hidden amidst the carvings and molding in the walls there before this crypt. They're quite small, no more than 1.5 inches across each.
Aerith is going to take some of the sealing wax he has for letters from his pack and just plug them up.
All right, that'll do.
All right. Okay, I think it's safe. And if people will help him, he will try and get this open.
Okay, I'd say working together with anyone else who is willing to assist, you're able to, without too much difficulty, at your own pace, haul the door away from the crypt, placing the large stone slab just off to the side of it. Looking within, you can immediately detect that this crypt smells of roses. Looking inside, the remains atop its marble slab have disintegrated, except for one thigh bone.
It's beautiful. Someone must have loved her very much to perfume this place this strongly.
And to keep her thigh.
Singular, yes.
Just like a
May I
move over
detect? Auras of magic within the room.
Yes, so looking around, you detect an aura of evocation magic around the thigh bone.
It looks like it's a magic bone.
Of course it is. Earth kind of looks around as if hoping someone else will take the initiative, but if no one does, he'll step forward.
Yeah, Metreon looks skeeved out.
He will grit his teeth and pick up the bone.
All right. As you do, there is a wisp to the air, and then as the dust seeps, sifting down the sides of the stone marble slab at the center, a ghostly form appears above the dust, so faint that you can barely discern more than part of a face. And from this apparition comes the faintest of whispers. The vampire must be destroyed. Use me as your weapon. And with that, it fades away.
Oh. Thank you, ma'am. As he holds the thigh bone, like, okay. So, did everyone else hear this, or was it just him?
It was visible, but due to the quietness, only anyone in the crypt beside the slab heard it. And it seemed to be directed at you.
Okay. Miss Saint Markovia wants us to use her thigh as a weapon against the vampire.
Well, it's like a club.
Yeah, looks like it. Or, I mean, I guess that's about what you could use it for.
God, I was joking. Yeah.
I don't think she was.
Amity looks up to the sky of the crypt. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Spirit of Saint Markovia.
We are much obliged. As Aerith kind of swings it experimentally.
Alright, take the bone. Sorry, there's a timer on detect magic, so I'm going to hurry to the next one.
No,
but swing the bone.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yes, and the bone does have a surprisingly, like, reasonable weight to it, fitting almost like a mace into your hand.
God, I wish I'd trained with these. And Aerith will follow the group to the next crypt.
All right. The next crypt in line reads Duchess Dorfnia Delisnia. Would you like to open the stone slab?
Yep.
All right. Hauling the stone slab and kind of pushing it aside, Amity, you detect your detect magic on the other side pulls again that strong metaphysical sensation on the other side of the slab. Looking within into the darkness, you see a skeleton draped in rags that lies atop a marble slab in the center of the crypt. Hanging on the back wall is a handsome quilt that depicts a royal feast. The quilt seems to bear magic, but it's of no determinate school.
Okay. You know, I knew I'd forgotten something when we went shopping. I think it was the 10-foot pole. Shoot. So, anyone else want to step forward and be stupid, or shall I be stupid?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you from being stupid.
Fair enough.
Is this all in the group chat?
This is all in the group chat.
Do you need a mage hand?
Please.
Very well.
I can also, if I'm here, Amity can use, like, the telekinetic.
Ooh, yeah. Or hold that, Lilson.
Unless you want another mage hand, then...
No,
if you
Darlin,
want...
by all means.
I'll keep sitting here and looking at the sword unless, you need an extra hand.
Okay, so Amity, are you going to use your ability to move the quilt over toward you?
Yeah, just get it out of the way. Look for magic. There must be magic somewhere under it.
Sure. As you watch, Amity murmurs quietly under her breath, her eyes fluttering shut, and a misty apparition appears on the far side of the crypt, gently taking up the quilt in its arms and pulling it from the wall and holding it draped over either one of its forearms. The magic seems to still be coming from the quilt. There doesn't seem to be anything behind it.
Good evening, ma'am. We can get out of your hair if you'd like.
You look at Amity concentrating, and you realize that she's probably the one who summoned it.
Oh. God, I'm never gonna get used to that.
I don't see where the magic's coming from. It could just be under something. How, like, busy is the room? Is there stuff to even look under? Or have we clearly...
There doesn't seem to be anything under. Going off of detect magic and how it generally works, you get the sense that the quilt is probably enchanted in some way, some kind of magic intrinsic to it, but not a particularly strong spell or enchantment. Looking over it and its probable age, it's probably been magically preserved somehow.
All right. I don't think there's anything special here. I feel like the quilt's just not wearing away. So It's cool. We can take it after. But,
Wait, they figured out magic preservation for cloth?
Is that...
Of course it's a big deal. That's... Oh, God. The historical applications. You could... Every museum in the world needs what they...
Oi, nerd. We got...
Yeah, right. We got shit to do. Enjoy your magic theory-breaking quilt, man. As Aerith reluctantly leaves the two behind.
I feel like Metron's probably even physically shoving him away.
Almost certainly, yes.
All right,
Crypt
next
number
crypt
3.
then. All right, you make your way to the next crypt, which reads Stefan Grigorovich, first counselor to King Berev von Zarevich. And I presume you'll be working together to remove the stone slab?
Yep, assume that for the rest of the time.
All right. Looking inside, you find that a skeleton draped in rags lies atop a marble slab in the center of the crypt. Most of the bones appear dusty and neglected, but the skull is well polished. As Amity concentrates her magic through the detect magic ritual she has cast, you can see that the skull radiates a faint aura of necromancy magic.
Oh, Amity sort of carefully picks up the skull. It looks like there's some kind of necromancy on this.
Ooh, your wheelhouse.
Yeah. I'll take this one. Unless there's any objections.
Yeah, by all means.
All right. Next
I've
tomb.
already got my skull, so...
All right, anything else you wish to do in this crypt, or you're just taking the skull with you?
I'm just taking the skull with me.
Phenomenal.
Okay. The next crypt that you find is immediately adjacent to Stefan's crypt. This one reading, Intri Sikvalu. He spurned wealth for the knowledge he could take to heaven. Shifting the slab aside, you see a similar sight to the previous crypt. A skeleton draped in rags that lies atop a marble slab in the center, most of the bones appearing dusty and neglected, but similarly, this skull is also quite well polished. And the skull also radiates a faint aura of necromancy magic.
Okay, there's another magic skull.
What
Okay.
are the odds?
I'm not sure if it's just another preservation thing, but
I think this might just be a whole area full of magic skulls, right? I mean, most of the people down here seem to have some sort of magical ability. Maybe we just take
but like the
all
lich
of the
bit
skulls and like fight Strahd, just throw the skulls at him.
Alright, let's. I guess I'll take both of them. Let me know if you want one. If there's a bunch of skulls, we can each take one.
Yeah, just make sure we like put something on this one so we can return it to the right place when we come back. Like I'll just
Mark it with post-it notes. You know what I mean?
God, I miss those. Aerith will put a tiny dab of colored wax on the skull as they exit the tomb.
You know, I met the girls who made post-its.
You did?
Yeah, well, you know, cute little blonde numbers. Kind of ditzy, though.
Never would have known.
Shall
Are
we?
Post-its now canon in Barovia?
They're
Yeah.
canon in Faerun.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
this is
fair.
just.
Well,
this
yes.
is, yeah.
There's none in Barovia. Strahd doesn't have any truck with that.
Unfortunate. All right. Well, leaving that crypt behind, and I presume you're resealing these with stone slabs as you leave them.
We would like
Have
not
some
be
respect for the
ambushed,
dead
please.
after robbing them. Oh, well, that too. The next crypt that you find is a few tombs away and is labeled Bascal Offenheis, Chef Deluxe. Moving aside the stone slab that seals it, you see within a skeleton draped in white linen that lies atop a marble slab in the center of the crypt, clutching a bell to its sunken chest. Fitted over its skull is a tall chef's hat. Amity, you sense magic within the crypt, but you cannot tell its source.
It's definitely under the hat. I'm lifting up the hat.
Okay, under the hat, you find an electrum spork with a bejeweled handle. Seems potentially quite valuable.
What the
And it's
fuck
magical.
is that?
Right? No?
It is not magical,
Damn it.
but it looks pretty valuable. Like a really nice spork.
What is that unholy cutlery fusion?
Are you saying?
Wait, are you
elves-
telling me that Erthrendir is a ranger and doesn't know the glory of sporks?
Yeah, I would think that he'd like a Swiss Army knife or something like that with a.
He's never
sword on
seen
it.
this in his life.
Swiss Army sport.
Swiss Army sport.
Well, you've seen like the ones that have like the spoons and the knives.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
that's just
corkscrew.
campier, baby.
But
Yeah.
like, no, you don't get it. Like, what? You don't make that out of electrum. That'll tarnish, and like, you can't use that. It's decorative.
All right, did we just trigger another Erthrendir Electrum rant? Because I don't have the patience for it, love. You're so smart, but like I can't. It was so long last time. You know what I mean? Like it didn't end.
It has its uses, but you don't make cutlery out of it.
All right. Just give it to me. I'll
So
put it in
let's
my bag later. It'll be
Get
fine.
F&D away from the Electrum.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
he's triggered. Let's go.
fine.
He's
I'm
like
done.
that
I'm done.
werewolf, but instead of silver, it's like a specific mixture of silver and gold.
I'm not. I'll calm down. Just. Why?
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Is there anything like, I guess, searchable in this place, or was it just the chef's hat and the corpse and the spork?
It's just the dead skeleton holding the bell, the chef's hat, the spork under the chef's hat.
It wasn't even the bell either. Damn. Okay, well, yeah. Amity shrugs. Let's get out of here.
All right, as you do, Esmeralda will poke Erthrendir on the shoulder, whisper, "Penny for your thoughts," and drop an electrum piece in your hand before walking away.
There's a thunk as something hits her in the back.
Is there a ring in any of these crypts? Is there a ring? Because Kiva's ready to make it official right now. 100%.
Meanwhile, Lillison off in the crypt by herself, just hearing all of these noises off in the distance, having no idea what's going on. Just being like,
She's too busy with her cool sword.
Erthrendir,
Yes.
what are they doing now?
They found a bejeweled electrum spork. Some unholy spoon-knife fusion. Spoon-fork fusion.
No, a spoon and a knife is a spife.
I was joking.
Corn. Capoon. I don't know.
Capoon, yeah, Capoon.
Next, you'll tell me you can put all three of them together. Don't do this to me.
What are the jewels?
What are the jewels?
There's like a little, like they're very tiny. They're like fingernail size. No, smaller than fingernail size. It's a spork. They're like they're very small, like bead sized.
Like,
There's
what
like a
are
few
they, though?
sapphires, rubies. There's one emerald right at the very like tip of the handle. It's exceptionally glitzy and absolutely in terrible taste.
Just sapphire, ruby, emerald. Nothing you'd be interested in, I don't think.
Unfortunate.
All right, I think they're gonna open the next crypt without me. Let me catch up.
All right. The next crypt that you find has no name or epitaph on it.
Too bad. We're getting it open.
All right, I
it
expected
open.
as much. Working together, you shift the stone slab aside and find that this crypt is empty, except for two alcoves in the back wall. Above the alcoves are carved with the following words: "Pass not these portals, ye foolish mortals." And Amity, you can sense through detect magic that both alcoves radiate strong auras of conjuration magic, similar to the auras that you saw in the corridors where Metreon was previously spirited away, though you cannot tell if they have the same effect. But it's the same school.
All right. I'm guessing conjuration's like that includes teleporting, right? So it looks like the two walls on the sides are like portals, and there's a message saying "Don't go in."
You
As
know,
much as I love to tempt fate, I think we should just heed the warning here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone was gonna be nice to us, then I can live with that.
Is there like a rock or something like around?
There are several rocks. They're not rocks
There's
as
one
such, but
singular
they're like little.
electrum piece lying on the ground.
There is also
He's
that.
not gonna waste money.
It's
But yeah.
not money.
Yeah, you can easily pick up like a little like half broken brick of sediment from the ground.
Yeah, he'll totally just like pick off a piece from like some crypt or something like that, and kind of toss it in his hand, and then he's gonna throw it at the left wall.
All right, it skids and plops into the left alcove. Nothing happens.
Well,
See, this is why we needed to keep Muppet around, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the perfect opportunity to send a corpse through a portal.
he really was the best of us.
He was, and I miss him dearly.
And then Metron's going to pick up another chunk of tomb and throw down into the right alcove.
Nothing continues to happen.
I could summon Muppet too, but it would break my
Don't.
concentration on detect magic.
Yeah, we need
No, I
that
think-
more than we need Muppet. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, God, I'm so glad you have this spell, Amity.
Me too. Imagine having to explore like 100 of these.
Ugh. Yeah, no, please no.
The next crypt that you find is marked Sir Jarnwald the Trickster. The joke was on him. You pull open the stone slab sealing the door and can immediately detect that a charnel stench fills this empty crypt. Looking within, without stepping inside, Amity, you can see that the floor glimmers with illusion magic. And moreover, you can sense more magic somewhere beneath the floor.
It looks like the floor's an illusion. There's something beneath it. You got another one of those bricks, Metron?
Yeah, I mean, they're littering the floor here, and Metron will pick it up and hand it to Amity.
Amity tosses it onto the floor.
Okay. The brick slips right through the floor, passing through it as though it were not even there. You listen, waiting for the sound of it plunking at the bottom. There's no sound.
So, I hope that this would maybe tell us how deep it is, but I didn't. Did any of you hear it?
No,
Like hit?
I did not.
Okay.
Does
It's
not
been
bode
15
well.
seconds, 30 seconds, you still have not heard it hit the bottom.
Maybe it's just one of those sound dampening rooms, right? We don't have to worry about the fact that it never ends.
I think I do.
So we just stay away.
That or one of you holds my legs while I poke my head in.
I mean, I can do that.
Don't we have
Alright.
like 5,000 feet of rope too?
Yeah, that too, but I trust Metron's hands more than I trust Barovian rope.
Metron looks at Kiva like and kind of like does like a noodle arm kind of movement, just very subtly though.
I was gonna say Kiva immediately looks at Metreon with all of the love of someone who does not trust Metreon's hands in the slightest.
All right.
Let's go.
Yep, Aerith will lie down, and once Metreon has a grip on his legs, he will stick his head through the illusion.
Okay, you poke your head through, your eyes taking a second to adjust to the darkness on the other side. Looking through the floor, you can see what seems to be a dark pit, the sides polished smooth, descending 5, 10, 20 feet down, and at the bottom, your ears cannot hear the sounds. You see a half dozen emaciated, pale, gray-blue skinned figures, their eyes glimmering with a faint bluish light, rags stained with reds and dark browns, barely covering parts of their body. You can see their ears notched and scars across their flesh, and as they look up, one of them opens its eyes, baring its teeth as its jaw slightly parts, and you see sharp, yellowed, jagged, filed teeth all within. You can see it reaching up toward you, its long, gnarled, yellowed nails scratching helplessly at the air, the others taking note, each of them all moving with great exertion as though grunting, screaming that you cannot hear the sound, all of them grasping vainly for you, trying to climb and clamber over each other unsuccessfully.
Aerith is screaming as his legs start flailing in Metreon's grip.
Oh yeah, and with his 8 strength, he can barely hang on, and you start to feel yourself slip.
Don't you fucking dare!
Yeah, I start to hiss back
You
at
can't
Amity.
actually hear Aerithrendir say anything. You have not heard him say a word.
Fantastic. But I would say that Amity and Kiva could probably see Metron straining to not let him fall into the floor.
Yeah, Amity will help grab the legs, grab the torso.
Yeah, as soon as you grab his legs, Metron will let go and just walk out.
You successfully pull Aerithrendir out of the pit.
Okay, thanks, Metre. Oh, hey, Amity.
Hey, so I take it there was a lot of Electrum in there?
It's a bunch of ghouls in a pit of magical silence. That's a trap. That's a really bad trap.
Kiva, you called it. It was sound dampening. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and that wasn't even a meta guess. That was just me just shitting. So, that's awesome.
Legendary.
I'm so smart. I'm a great DM, guys.
All right, let's put the cap back on that. Metreon, you motherfucker.
Well, I held your legs.
You did not hold them in the... Let's just move on.
There's a loud clunk as Ismark and Davian place the seal back on the tomb.
No better than to trust your top strength.
Not gonna say nothing.
Why would you say anything? Let's move on.
So far, our
Okay.
loot stash amounts to 3 bones, so I'm not super hopeful, but yeah, let's move on.
All right. The 8th and final crypt that you detect magic on the other side of reads, familiar to Aerthrandir, Growlmore Nimblenobs, Wizard Ordinaire.
Oh, there was something in here. I knew it. Amity, what in here detects as magic?
So, as a redundant description, you see on a marble slab in the center of this crypt is the corpse of a man with a long white beard. You can see that he wears dusty red robes, but I believe one of you picked up the wooden staff. It had a brass knob at one end and a marble knob at the other. Where did you put it?
We put it back with him.
Okay, so he is still holding onto that staff. And Amity, your detect magic reveals that the marble slab contains some sort of magical essence, though it doesn't seem to be of a specific school.
But not the staff. Interesting. It looks like staff is just normal, but the whole slab there is magic under him. That's weird.
The rock?
Yeah, like the whole pedestal base. Which knocks on it.
Eric's going to move around the slab and see if this is in fact the fated +3 slab of smiting. What is this?
Looking over it, it seems to be a marble slab. You can take a minute or two to carefully examine it if you'd like.
Yes, please. He is baffled.
Okay. Looking over the slab and inspecting the details in it, it seems to be mostly smooth and unbroken, save for the left side, just by his head, where you see a shallow, concave recess.
Aerith presses
the side
his
of the slab.
hand into it.
It is nothing, it doesn't, it's not like a button or anything there, it just seems to be a small recess.
Does it look like it? Hey, y'all, come look at this. There's some weird, cavity in this.
Right.
What shape is the cavity?
It's like a half circle. Or half sphere, I should say.
Does it look like it'll fit anything that we might have on our person or something?
Hold on. As he looks up at the staff. Does it look like the right size?
Yes, either of the knobbed ends look like about the right size to fit into the recess.
Alright.
Amity
Go for
is
it.
shoving all of the bones into the recess.
Those do not fit, I'm afraid. But good thought. This is the equivalent of like taking all those random items you picked up, maybe this one will work.
We're in a text
Maybe this one will work.
game right now.
It's
Eric.
tying an entire massive key ring in one lock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As-
Anyone who's played Amnesia knows this pain.
Aerith sort of twirls the staff. Alright, are we feeling marble or brass?
That feels like a personal question.
Look, I'm asking for an opinion.
Marble is a bit more substantial in it.
Alright, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
As
Go for
Aerith flips it over and places
Metron
marble
steps
on it.
10 feet back.
Okay, Metron steps 10 feet back, and as you place the marble knob end of the staff into the recess, there's a soft humming sound, and slowly the slab begins to levitate. Up 1 inch, 2, 6 inches, until it's levitating 5 feet above the ground, revealing beneath, in the floor, a compartment containing a small black leather case.
Look at you. Aerith will scoop it up. What's inside?
Inside, opening it up, you see 3 small parchment scrolls. And looking at them, they appear to be spell scrolls of Cone of Cold, Fireball, and Lightning Bolt.
Lillison, you get a private message.
Mm-hmm.
Got a gift for you when we get back. I think some heavy artillery.
What kind of gift?
1 cone of gold.
Oh, we could have used that, like, half an hour ago.
Very much so. But the good news is now you can use it on freezing Strahd's miserable face.
I would like that very much, thank you.
Good stuff. As Aerith retrieves the scrolls, humming happily. Alright, so question. Can any of y'all besides Casimir cast a fireball or a lightning bolt? Because if not, I think I gotta keep these.
I mean, I don't know if I can cast a fireball. I've never done it before.
Aerith will hold up the scroll for Metreon to read.
Does it?
It's not on your spell
Gobbledygook.
list.
Well, I mean, it could be on my spell list.
Oh, it could be?
Let me double check.
Given my subclass.
I
Just
don't
double check.
believe so.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. No, that is no, it's not. Damn.
Sorry.
Damn it.
And I don't think Kiva can use any of them either, right?
Kiva cannot use these, I'm afraid.
Well, shit. Alright, well, good. They'll save on spell
Just
slots.
give them to Ismark, you know? He'll use them.
We just give everything we're not using to
Is he
him.
Ismark? Yes, he's a one-man army. He'll be fine.
I will note that Lillison probably could cast the other two, but thank you very much for not offering her the spell scroll of Fireball.
He has learned some amount of tact.
Thank you.
Yeah, alright, well, that's a good find. Let's move on.
Alright, that is the 8th crypt. You detect no more, at least in the area that you have ranged thus far, you have not detected any further magic.
Incorrect, ye fool. The last one left is.
Oh, did you note it down and I forgot?
No. The one on the far east, like the stairway down.
Oh, right, the one that we were going
Oh.
With the traps.
shenanigans.
You mean the one that Metreon got teleported into?
Yeah.
That one.
Yes. Would you like to descend into it?
Sorry, I mean the one that Metrion got teleported out of. It's not a crypt. It's the eastern.
The eastern.
Yeah.
part.
So
area.
So you can't actually get close enough due to those traps to actually sense what's inside of the tomb.
You were talking about
beyond the
maybe.
portcullis.
Right. You were talking about maybe trying to get through this earlier, Ethandia. Do you have or I guess everyone else who was here. Are there any plans?
Only thing I could think of is throwing a dispel magic at it and then just getting in and out as fast as we can. I don't have faith in my power to keep them completely destroyed.
Is that worth it?
Up to you.
I think it is worth it. I mean, listen, like I said, especially after seeing it of a crypt, how decked out it was obviously important. Same with the parents. So, I mean, whoever's crypt is this, I mean, it's got to have something, right?
Oh, you're right. We got his brother, his parents. We'll get maybe his child or left aunt.
Left
Kiva
arm?
just cringes.
Alright, just get ready to move, alright? When I cast. Also, the portcullis isn't open, is it?
The portcullis is not open.
Okay, slight qualifying factor. If this is time limited, then we might want to get someone across to open that sucker beforehand, because... fuck it. Y'all ready?
That's a relative to a minute.
Alright. As Aerith will squat down, and once the gang is ready to charge into Destiny, he will cast Dispel Magic on the trap that is blocking them from getting in.
Amity will give him Bardic Inspiration first.
Thank you!
Alright, make a charisma check.
Yes, sir. That's just flat plus charisma, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna need that D10. 9!
The dispel magic fizzles out. Would you like to spend another spell slot?
No. Alright, yeah, no, not happening. This is powerful stuff. I'm not... Sorry. Sorry, Metreon, but we haven't even fought the guy yet. I'm not blowing more spells.
No, listen, I did it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's quite a thing.
Amity rolls once on the spear table. Oh, it wasn't the teleport one, somehow.
Darn. True, but you did get one of the new ones.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, in that case, should we regroup and let Casimir do what he came here to do?
Is there something that requires somebody teleporting?
Kinda, yeah. We're trying to see if we can get into this crypt, but we can't.
Oh, wait a minute. Kiva has something fun.
Does she?
Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work. This might be a really bad idea.
I love bad ideas around here.
Kiva's just like meditating on getting in there and stuff. And I think without realizing it, she's going to attempt to cast Misty Step.
Okay, and I believe you just got this as per that recent feature, right?
I did indeed.
All right. As each of you are looking toward the traps and kind of discussing the spell magic as you watch it fizzle out, Kiva, you draw down into that up that well of fey power within yourself, that burning sapphire core, glinting with gold and silver veins. And as you do, you draw it into yourself, and you feel those wisps of energy wrapping around you. And for a moment, your eyes lock forward on the path ahead, and you picture yourself not standing here, but there. And in a flicker of an eye, your form vanishes in mist, reappearing. Are you looking to be on the other side of the portcullis or right in front of it?
That's a really good question. I guess on the other side makes more sense in my mind, right? I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you.
That works. I think on the other side is what makes more sense.
Okay. And with that, you appear on the other side, looking down.
What the fuck?
The fuck? How?
I was just thinking about how to get over there, and it just sort of happened. What?
Okay. So we're looking into your untapped psionics another time. Can you get the door open?
Can she? Can she?
So, looking
something?
down from where you've now entered, you see black marble steps descending to a dark tomb that has a vaulted ceiling 30 feet overhead. The essence of evil permeates the very air. The smell of freshly turned earth is here, and settled into the dirt on the floor is a shining black coffin of finely waxed wood. The coffin's fittings are of brilliant brass, and the lid is closed. South of the coffin are 3 gloomy alcoves, and an iron lever protrudes from the north wall, east of the tomb's entrance.
Does the Sun Sword give her the vibes that she... Like, are they mutually vibing on what this might be?
The Sun Sword seems curious.
Okay. Looking around, does it seem like there's any immediate, like, traps or something that she could trigger if she gets closer to the coffin?
Make a perception check.
16.
16, nothing other than just the scent of freshly turned earth and the sensation of evil around you.
Kiva, like, messages the others group Discord chat, and it's just like, I think I found his resting place.
Shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think he's in?
Well, I feel like he would have made himself known if he was. Do you want me to ask?
I'd rather you didn't. Well, Dr. Van Rechten talked about this, right? Like, if he dies, then he'll come back here. Or if we manage to get him to go into mist.
But you see
But what happens if he has no place to come back to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
what if
we
I
just fuck it up.
destroy it?
Yeah.
Then I think that's a splendid idea.
Great! Let's do it!
Wait. So just in case he is in there, is maybe like try to stab him right away? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've got the sun sword and this new necklace that makes it that I can do a lot of fun things because I'm attuned to it now and I know what it does. So I think it's worth a shot to just destroy this thing.
All right, can you open the portcullis first?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. We may not be able to come over easily, but at least that way we can hopefully help.
Can she open the portcullis and then just start wailing the casket with the sun sword?
So you could open
Coffin,
the portcullis,
not
yes. The portcullis opens, grinding, clicking, and ticking with the machinery as the rest of you are still behind the teleport traps.
We know!
Here's a question. So I'll pick up another rock, because they're plentiful, and I'll toss it over the plate that is enchanted. Does it disappear, or...?
No, the rock does not disappear.
Okay, so it just hits Kiva, right?
Well, she's at the bottom of the stairs right now.
No, it's fine. Just hits her in the back of the head. It's cool. No.
Aerith holds up.
Well, maybe.
Wait, no, I got something.
Oh, right.
As Aerith motions for everyone to stand, so Amity could see that by the teleport trap that it was about 10 feet across, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Aerith reaches for a patch on his robe and pulls out a rowboat. It places it on the squares.
And with that, activating the magic of the robe of useful items that you had gained, a 10-foot-long rowboat apparates into existence around an inch and a half off of the ground, clunks down. You hear the slight crunching of wood as it... If you've ever seen that scene in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where, like, the whale is falling, it's like, oh, look, it's the ground. I wonder if it'll be friends with me. That's not water. That's what the rowboat just experienced.
Oh, no.
But the rowboat does go over top of the floor. The rowboat does not disappear.
All right.
Hey!
I was kind of hoping to save that for fishing, but this feels like a good use. Everybody
I'm not putting this on the
on.
map.
As Aerith will step onto the 12-foot rowboat and walk across.
Kiva's like shaking, by the way, with the desire to just like destroy this coffin. So y'all better hurry up. She's like vibrating off the ground.
If Aerthirnir does not, in fact, disappear when walking over his plank, Amity will follow.
Yeah,
this is a judgment call, but I'm gonna say that Aerthirnir does not disappear when walking over the rowboat.
He'll do it like upside down way, so it's more stable.
Yes, understandable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you are able to walk across Aerthirnir's makeshift bridge.
Woo!
To the other side, joining Kiva at the bottom.
Right.
Kiva, you're around 15 feet away from the coffin.
Oh,
or
no.
10 feet away.
Yes?
I think we was getting into Strahd's crypt.
What?
Yeah, we found it. You should probably... Sorry.
Yes, I think I probably. And she is going to get up and slide her newly acquired sword into... I assume this thing comes with like some sort of scabbard?
It does not actually. But I'm sure you can find some way of securing it.
Okay, she's going to secure it in her hand and just walk over, poke her head out, look around, see if she can find where everybody else is.
Kiva has an extra set of leather armor, which I would assume has some sort of scabbardy like sword holder, so you can get that from her.
I will hit you up for that one afterwards.
Amazing. Hurry and get here, because Kiva's about to unload.
Okay. Lilison finds out where everybody else is, hurries over, and just like looks at this upside down rowboat over the floor. What?
Magic problems require mundane solutions.
I never thought I would hear those words coming from your mouth. Very well. And she will follow over the makeshift land bridge, I guess.
If it makes you feel better, it did come from a magic robe, so I think it evens out.
Oddly enough, that does make me feel better.
Are we bringing anyone with us?
Since we finished resting, then yeah, let's get the gang.
All right, should I assume that the 5 of you are the first ones to enter?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then the rest come across the rowboat.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we'll have like a big
Perhaps-
party train.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should leave Irina and perhaps a few more people out of this.
That's
I
probably
agree,
good sense.
yes.
You are right.
Thanks,
Rena,
Olsen.
maybe you and David could chill out here.
They happily take up the rear.
Woo!
All right, so Kiva, you see this dark, finely made black coffin at the center of this crypt, and there's a scene in Ice Age where like the saber-toothed tiger is like, can I go kill him? Can I kill him? I want to maul them. I want to maul them. You're feeling those vibes really strong right now.
Yeah.
And as you walk across the earthen floor, the soft and loamy soil sinking beneath your boots, you feel the sun sword almost instinctually rising above your head as you approach this blackened coffin. And as you do, your ears twitch for a moment. And then before you can even realize it, there are 3 bursts of earthen soil from the east side of the crypt to your left, silhouettes springing forward, erupting from the earth toward you, as you see 3 women, eyes flaring red, dressed in soiled gowns, wearing dirt-encrusted jewelry, leaping out toward you, claws and fangs outstretched. I will need everyone to roll initiative.
Okay.
Party.
Cool.
Oh, we get to meet them. Yes!
All right,
The
let's get
girls.
everyone on the initiative
The
order.
squad!
The homegirls.
There we go.
26.
Jeez, they rolled
11.
crazy. 13.
17.
All right, beautiful. So, they do have the first go, as you are surprised.
Yes, I guess.
First off, each of them will take 20 points of radiant damage as they are within range of the sun sword.
Yay!
As you see the flesh beginning to sizzle, smoke curling off of their skin, each of them leaps toward you. 2 of them toward Kieva, 1 toward Erthrindir. The first one with darker skin, long, beautiful black hair, a soiled white wedding gown, a gold tiara, and 10 gold bracelets jangling up and down her arms, lashes toward you, Erthrindir, hissing, "You have trespassed here. It was your last mistake." And she will lash out toward you, making a attack with her claws.
Alrighty.
That is an 8 to hit, which I believe misses.
Quite.
Second attack is a 14.
Miss.
All right, next up, the next one, wearing a faded gold wedding gown, a platinum mask shaped vaguely like a skull, and rings glittering all over her fingers, giggles and say, "I wonder how your blood will taste. Let's give it a sample." And lashes toward you. She will make her claws attack as well. And they are attacking with disadvantage because of sunlight. That is a 10, which I believe misses. Kiva, you duck back, nimbly evading and parrying the blow with the sun sword.
Hell yeah.
Next is going to be another claws attack. That is a 7 to hit, which surely misses.
Sorry, guys.
The third one, looking very pale-skinned across her face, wearing a stained and tattered red wedding gown, a black and crimson silk headscarf across her head sewn with precious jewels, lashes toward you, hissing, "How dare you bring the cursed sun into here! You will perish for this insolence!" And lashes toward you, Kiva, with her claws. That is a 20 with disadvantage. Nice.
All right, yeah, that one hits.
Oof.
You take 6 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And the next one is an 18 to hit with disadvantage.
That hits.
All right, that'll be 11 points of slashing.
No, it doesn't. Cutting words.
Hey!
Oh,
That's now an 11 to hit.
Nice.
beautiful.
Eat shit!
All right, with that is the end of their turns. Erthrindir, you are first up. Let's go.
All right. Wasn't expecting this, but by all means, if you're determined to die, we'll provide. As he sweeps Rahat and Scimitar low, burning with green fire. 14 to hit.
A 14 unfortunately just misses as she ducks aside with inhuman speed and grace.
All right, that's his turn.
All right. She takes her turn next, retaliating, lashing forward with wickedly sharp claws. That is a 9 with disadvantage, and a 15 with disadvantage.
No and no.
Unfortunate. She hisses with displeasure and springs back, gathering herself and preparing for another series of blows. Amity, you're up.
Strahd knows we're in the castle. I wonder why he's not coming to help you. They all need to make a strength saving throw. As a ghostly form of a stalk erupts from the dirt behind them, and then some like air pressure slams them down towards the ground.
Okay.
This is the Spear Tail, baby.
Oh, the new one.
Oh, snap. All right, that'll be 3 strength saves.
So, yeah, 3 strength saves.
What's your spell save DC?
It's like 17.
They all fail.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
what specifically happens?
So what specifically happens is that they all take 12 damage, force damage, and they get knocked to the ground. They're all prone.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
As the
Wow.
Nice.
Phantom Giant steps on them.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Amity's.
And they continued to, the one that just attacked also, I forgot to mention, continues disintegrating from the sunlight.
Eat.
But very nice. They are
Fun.
pressed to the ground by this massive ethereal force.
Yep, and that's my turn.
Linus, I think you
Alright.
get one more roll. I think it's 3D. I think it's 3D10 and revised spirits.
Oh, I was looking at the UA edition of. Okay, I'm glad it's the similar ability, and I didn't just use a completely wrong thing.
You just get
yeah.
1d10 more damage.
Okay, I said they took 12 damage. That was a typo. It's 18.
All right, it will be marked off. Whose turn is next? It is the woman with the red headscarf, who for the first time I'm noticing is not actually red-haired. Huh. Well, she will use half her movement to stand up. And nimbly, almost with this monstrous grace, almost insectile, speed across the earth, pirouetting around Kiva, and launching forward with a deadly grace with her claws directly toward Amity's throat.
Ooh.
That is a 17 to hit.
Of course that'll hit. With disadvantage. Wow, good job.
Yeah, 7 points of slashing damage.
7 points of slashing damage taken. And,
Alright, and the next...
sorry, I'm making a concentration save. Keep attacking. Oh, I
Alright.
lost concentration on Dispel Magic.
Very... Dispel magic or detect magic?
Or detect. Yeah,
Gotcha.
detect.
Alright, the next one is a 23 to hit.
Shit. Yeesh.
How is it doing
disadvantage.
this?
A 17 and a 19, baby. I'm not lying. That'll be 8 points of slashing damage, please.
Wow, that eats through the Inspiring Leader shield and actually starts to dig into the flesh.
Oh no, I'm just realizing, is Airthunder showing us what it means to have a Twilight Cleric in the party?
Yes!
I hate this. That is the end of that Vampire Spawn's turn. She takes another 20 points of radiant damage from the sunlight, which is adjacent to her. Kiva, you're up. It's slicing and dicing time.
All right. Bonus action. Rage. I am rolling on my table. Oh, it's my favorite. I should know this by now. My little pixie darling. So with her 2 attacks, she is going to manage to like fight through that fog of rage and use both of her attacks on the coffin itself.
Oh shit, okay.
She's got to hold on and keep doing what she came here for.
All right, let's let me get a sense of its AC. Make me a roll first.
Recklessly. She's going to do that as well.
All right. I'm here for it.
So the first one is a 26.
All right, a 26 will hit. Give me some damage.
That's 11 damage.
All right, 11 points of radiant damage. You slice, hacking across the surface on one end, kind of shearing off part of it with blazing radiant energy, and scorching through it.
And then one more. Dirty 20.
That'll hit.
9 points of damage.
All right, for a total of 22 so far.
Yes. And that is all she can do with her 2 attacks.
All right, you bring the sun sword down, hacking once, twice. You watch as a large, almost molten splinter begins emerging from across the center of it, beginning to spread across it. You think that one more hit will split it into two and destroy it entirely.
Let's say if like a pixie were to explode and a coffin tank can't do like a dexterity saving throw, right? Like it might take a d6 of force damage.
Hypothetically, one could imagine, something like that might work.
Take 5 points of force damage.
The coffin cracks open with an explosion of earth and splintered wood that sends debris showering across all 3 of you adjacent to it. All 3 of the vampire spawn let out wails of anger and despair at the sight of it.
Kiva then turns to the brides and curls a finger like, let's fucking dance, clowns.
All right. With that exceptional flex complete with, Metreon, you're up.
Which one of the 3 brides looks the most injured?
Both the one with the white dress and the one with the red dress look about similarly injured.
Okay. So since the one with the red dress just wailed on Amity, he's gonna gesture a bit with his hands, and he's gonna go ahead and cast Sacred Flame.
All right, dex save.
Yes.
14. What's your DC?
It's 16, baby.
Oh snap! Roll it.
So that's gonna be what?
I think it rolled twice.
Yeah, it did.
I think.
What was the first one?
Sorry.
No. So the first one, the first one is 4 damage plus 4, so 8 total. 8 radiant.
All right. She yelps, scratching and beating across her skin with these radiant, golden burning sparks are dancing across the flesh. It continues to smoke and char and curl.
And then, that's my turn.
All right. Beautiful. Next up is Lillison.
All right.
There are 2 vampire spawn prone on the ground, smoking, looking very unhappy under the sunlight. Kiva just hacked a coffin in half, and the 3rd vampire spawn is yelping, dashing about, trying to beat out the radiant flames that are dancing across her very fashionable headscarf. What are you doing?
Lillison will take note of that headscarf for later. But for now, she is sending a pair of acid globules at the 2 vampire spawn on the ground next to each other.
Okay.
So, dexterity saves, please.
Captain, that's a 17 and a 14.
All right, the one who rolled a 14 will take 10 points of acid damage.
Take them she will. So you watch as the blood-red acid begins sizzling across the flesh, burning, eating into it, as she begins rolling across the earthen floor, trying to rub it away.
All right, and then she glances towards Erthrindir and says, "Which one of them are you going for next?"
Right in front of me. Gold headdress.
All right, well, looks like there's a gap under the right arm.
Much obliged.
And that's her turn.
All right, and said skull-faced, golden dress-wearing vampire spawn will leap to her feet, literally in this single launching parkour-esque motion in a single fluid whirl. And before you notice it, before her feet even touch the ground, her claws already aiming for your throat, Erthrindir.
Woo!
Actually, you know what? She's gonna go for Kiva, because you just fucking hacked her boss's coffin in half.
So she gets advantage, but disadvantage from the sunlight, so it's just a normal attack roll against
Gotcha.
me.
Cancels out. Sweet. That'll be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
7 points of slashing damage, please.
Oh, that just ate through my temps. Oh, yeah, and it's
I think
halved.
it's half because of the rage, right? So it's only
Yeah.
4 or 3?
Four?
Yeah.
Four?
We'll say
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
All right, she'll make a second attack with claws. That is an 8, which I believe misses.
That one misses.
Beautiful. She hisses with displeasure, and Erthrindir is up.
All right, Aerith is going to take the opening Lillison gave him and stab out with a swirl of green flame.
All right, go for it. For the prone one or the not prone one?
The not prone one.
The not prone. All right, go for it.
That's a crit!
Oh my god.
Woo!
Okay, so I need to
Roll some
re-roll
dice.
some dice.
Yep.
D6. D8. Okay, so this is a bit complicated. So they take 14 non-magical slashing damage and 9 fire damage. And I have a question I never thought I'd have to ask,
Yes.
which is, does crits double Green Flame Blade's rider damage?
I don't believe so. No, it's not the same attack.
Fair enough. In that case, Bloodmela takes 10 fire damage as well, as it leaps from Valenta to her.
All right, for a moment there are these two brilliant, beautiful auras, these torches of green light burning up the interior of the tomb, almost outpacing the sunset for a moment as these emerald green flames cast long shadows across the interior of this crypt. And when they dissipate, there are long, dark char marks across the soiled gowns, across the jewelry. It is unsightly. Especially with the way that the sunlight has been boiling and eating away at the flesh of these spawn. When they started, they looked almost elegant. Now their bodies are ruined, boiled, burned messes of scar tissue. You can see them slowly struggling to regenerate, but they are just driven mad with pain and frenzied rage.
Go back to where you came. That's his turn.
All right. The spawn wearing the white gown will attack you next, standing up from prone, lashing out with claws. 9, which misses. And a 9, which misses. And you watch as she screams, burning alive as the sunlight takes her, leaving naught but dust and ash behind. Which technically I should have done before she attacked, but that's okay.
It worked out.
Amity, you're up.
Amity is going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the one of the red dress in front of her. Unless she looks so burnt that she would just immediately die at the start of her turn.
What's your passive perception or insight?
Like 10.
I'll give it to you. They both look incredibly destroyed. There is a good chance that the sunlight might just burn them up.
Cool. In that case, Amity is just going to sort of stand there and like Vicious Mockery instead, the red one.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, so it needs to make a Wiz save for Vicious Mockery. And you burning to death in exchange for this paper cut on my arm. Is that a good deal? What's the...
All right.
Did it make the
Cold.
Wiz save?
Unfortunately, it seems like it was a good deal because that's an 18 on the save.
Wow, that's what it wanted. Okay. Turn.
All right. She opens her mouth as if to produce a witty retort and then immediately screams as she burns alive in fire. Very unfortunate. Kiva, you're up.
Oh man, who's still standing here? Let's see. Let's see.
Skullface.
Skullface. Oh, you know what's coming, baby. 2 sun swords to the face, please.
Bing bang, let's go.
That's only a 12 on the first one.
Unfortunately, a 12 will miss.
That's a crit on the next one.
Oof. All right,
So,
roll some
it's
damage.
29 to hit, and that's 14 damage plus an additional, because she's a vampire. 2d8, right? 2d8, 1d8.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Another 2d8, or
It's
no, another
1d8.
1d8.
That's
1d8.
Yeah, it's 1d8.
1d8. Okay, hold on. Let me correct that. So that's a 2. That's fine. And then she's going to also explode the pixie that appears at the top of her turn. So that's 4. So 14 and 2 is 16 and 4 is 20.
All right, beautiful. So you parry with the Sunsword once and then slash another time, leaving a grievous wound across her side. She bites down in a scream and then leers at you, grinning unpleasantly beneath the mask. Ha! Is that all you? And then the pixie explodes behind her, and her head pops off of her shoulders and rolls on the ground about 3 inches away from your foot.
I love this. Great. We'll just take care of that when we're done, right? You know, just burn
Yeah,
her up.
exactly. And that brings us to the end of this combat, and that is where we'll take our break.
Ah, delicious.
Woo!
This is gonna be easy, guys. We're gonna kill this whole dungeon.
Listen, I didn't
This whole
think I'd get the
grandma.
chance to destroy the coffin, but I don't know if that's like a big turning point for us, but it feels significant.
Well, yeah,
It really
I think
does,
it's gonna
yeah.
be-
I dig the drama.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's not gonna have anywhere to go now.
He's not gonna have anywhere to go. So eat shit, Strahd.
I'd say too, like, does Esmeralda have any holy water left?
Oh yeah, we need to douse
She
this
does.
whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole
I'd
room.
say that we'd ask her to douse the dirt in the coffin to just complete moisture, holy moisture.
I love how in most games, especially with the community changes, trying to fight all 3 brides at once would just be like a TPK. But in actuality, they're just kind of...
They're there.
They're
They
just
just-
kinda
Especially once you have the
bitches.
sun sword, you know, kind of punk ass bitches. Yeah.
Yeah.
There sure are 3 vampire spawn.
But they look great.
They
so
do look great.
that's
They
really
look excellent.
important.
They were fun in the brief time we got to know them.
Yeah, sassy, fun, fashionable.
Well, on that note, as always, we will pick this back up after a quick 15-minute break, so please do enjoy. This week's break will include a fireside chat with our guest Reckless Attack, who will be discussing their experience running Theater of the Mind combat.
Welcome to Fireside Chat, a short interlude with weekly features where I, your host Lucas, will be showcasing and interviewing prominent D&D creators. This week, we're talking to Nathan, the Dungeon Master for the Reckless Attack podcast, about running Theater of the Mind combat. Why and when would a Dungeon Master want to use Theater of the Mind combat as opposed to using regular maps?
So, Theater of the Mind, first and foremost, is definitely not for every group, not for every system, or even every combat that you run. I personally have definitely found that it is great for small in numbers encounters with just a couple of opponents that can be pretty distinguishable from one another. And also is great for encounters with relatively limited terrain variables kind of thrown in. But really, the big picture of it is Theater of the Mind is really great for focusing on dynamic, flavorful narrative combat without getting kind of bogged down in measuring distances or overly tactical play, if that makes sense. So it's really less for when you want to emphasize specific tactics or terrain or need multiple ranges to be important. And the goal is really just to make it as easy as possible to make it a story, make your combat a story. And by that, I mean, give your players lots of cool things to react to and overcome and focus on that, as opposed to all of the other ephemera that goes into running a D&D combat.
What steps should a Dungeon Master take when preparing to run a Theater of the Mind combat?
First and foremost, definitely it needs to be something agreed upon by the whole table. It is a very specific style of play, and it is definitely not for everyone. We've all, I'm sure, played with people who really love that tactical gaming, kind of war gamey thing where they want to know the distances, they want to have a cool, hyper dynamic map that they can have line of sight and cover and all that kind of stuff. So it really needs to be talked through, including how you're going to handle things like area of effect spells, which they have some rules for in the DMG. All that kind of stuff, you want to make sure that there is a good dialogue well ahead of time before you go forward with anything. But beyond that, when you are designing an encounter, I've always found it was really useful to see if you can build in a narrative or objective, and that's certainly true with all kinds of combats, but I find it especially useful for Theater of the Mind. So what I mean by that is making some clear stakes or a clear thing for, again, your party to react to as they are starting this combat. A good example is, okay, there's this big horrifying monster over here, and then there's a bunch of town folks over there. And that is the setting of your combat, and that immediately gives your players a lot of information, a lot of character motivation, and some things that they can immediately latch their imaginations onto and kind of start reacting accordingly. So they can use their movement to get between themselves and the monster. They can try to flank the monster. They can use some of their turn to go and alert people to get out of the way. All that kind of stuff. All very flavorful by putting those stakes and that narrative hook right up top. Second, I definitely also recommend working through some flavorful but easy to remember descriptors for each of your enemies. Each monster, could certainly be their own totally unique stat block and their own flavor and that kind of stuff, or it can really just be as simple as, hey, there are 4 bandits. This one has a bow, this one has a spear, so he has reach. This one has a short sword, this one also has a short sword, but also has an eye patch, that kind of thing. That gives you, again, your players something to latch onto when they think about who's threatening who during the combat and who they need to react to. In addition, if these include, a couple personality quirks, like a bandit captain who likes to bark out orders, a cowardly one that fires from afar, it gives even more roleplay options and varied tactics to play with. Finally, think through ahead of time how those narrative stakes that you've already kind of thought through and set up might change over the course of the combat. Obviously, you want to be flexible, you want to react to what your players are doing, but have a couple ideas of some curveballs or developments that could happen. It could be, oh god, reinforcements come. It could be a little kid has fallen in the middle of the battle. Whatever it is, have some ideas of how you can keep massaging and changing the narrative stakes so it's always giving your players something fresh to react to.
What can the Dungeon Master do during combat to ensure a satisfying experience for both the players and the DM?
So first and foremost, very similar to my first recommendation, is be sure to establish assumptions that everyone can work off of immediately up front so you don't have to answer questions down the line. That could be something really as simple as, hey, assume everyone in this combat is within attack range of each other. Everyone can pretty much move around however they want or whatever. Just try to make it as easy as possible for people to remember kind of the various conditions of whatever's going on. And as a part of that, be sure to think ahead of time and in the course of running what skills your players use or like to use or might excel at that you can just kind of hand wave and let them feel awesome. Fast character is a great example of that. Fast characters never have to worry about how far away they are from anyone else within reason, that kind of thing. You want to make your people feel awesome and not like they've been shortchanged out of using all their cool +1s or +5s that they've built their characters around. Also, throughout the combat, and especially during the top of the round, be sure to do a recap. That is super useful for re-emphasizing the narrative stakes of the combat, and especially if they're changing across the combat. Also, to remind everyone where everyone is, who's threatening what, all that kind of stuff. And really, it's important to remember that players and audiences, if you're an actual play podcast, really care about the PCs and the characters, whether they're NPCs or PCs. So be sure to center your descriptions around how things are affecting or about to affect your PCs, to add buy-in, to add stakes, and again, to add some options in combat to really catch the imaginations of your players. So again, the sniper in the back is clearly gunning for the cleric, or the big beefy guy is really looming over 2 of the warriors up front. Add that little extra narrative layer on. So I go through a little checklist each time at the top of the round where I am working with the players to reset expectations, make sure people are engaged, and make sure they haven't gotten lost. So the main things to hit on, again, in no real particular order: locations of all the enemies, and that includes descriptors, potential intent, because it reminds people who's still up, who's still a threat, what stakes there are, and what sort of things they have to react to. I also always give reminders and the location of any notable obstacles, any terrain, environmental stuff, big cliff, pit of acid, whatever it is. And then again, the current stakes of the narrative that you've constructed during the course of the combat. Protect the civilians, stop the burglar, whatever they might be.
Do you have any other advice you would like to share with Dungeon Masters looking to run Theater of the Mind combats?
It takes a lot of practice. It's not for every single combat, and it's not for every group, and it really just takes a lot of experience and a lot of feel to know what's going to work for your table. And it's not an easy thing. There's no universal rule, but it's always based on communication with your group, you know, reflecting personally and with everyone else about what worked, what didn't work, what was cool, and also what did your players not like about it. You know, it's easy in the course of a theater of their mind combat to make quick calls, to keep things moving, keep the stakes high, introduce some new variable, but sometimes those calls that you make leave your players feeling sad or like they didn't get to use their cool thing. And so it's always worth checking in after combats to make sure that if they have any issues, that you can address them in the future and run a better theater of the mind combat for everybody.
Where can people find you and your work?
So my name is Nathan. I am the Dungeon Master for the Reckless Attack podcast. We are an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. You can find us on all the various social medias. We're most active certainly on Twitter, which is at reckless_attack. We also have a website, recklessattack.com. We're on Patreon. We're on Coffee. We have all kinds of great stuff going on. Definitely come check us out.
Curse of Strahd, Twice Bitten, is proud to be sponsored by Foundry VTT, The Forge, and Benios Battle Maps. If you're looking for a self-hosted, modern, feature-rich virtual tabletop for your D&D or other TTRPG games, make sure to check out Foundry Virtual Tabletop, a one-time purchase software that lets your players connect and play for free. If low-effort automation, a gorgeous, user-friendly interface, and an endless library of additional features sound up your alley, make sure to check out Foundry at foundryvtt.com. If you're looking to host your Foundry VTT game in the cloud, make sure to also check out The Forge, a no-hassle RPG platform that's uniquely integrated with Foundry VTT. Manage your games online efficiently and easily, and stay focused on being a great dungeon master instead of spending precious preparation time managing local servers. Check them out at forge-vtt.com. Finally, if you're running a Curse of Strahd campaign of your own, make sure to check out Benios Battle Maps, a creator of high-quality, animated 3D battle maps and tokens for your D&D game. Become a patron at patreon.com/BeniosBattleMaps to receive animated battle maps for Death House, Argnvastolt, and a full render of Castle Ravenloft, complete with built-in sound effects, scene handouts, and a full automatic Foundry integration. To see Benios' Ravenloft maps in action, make sure to watch Twice Bitten's climactic finale, as our heroes delve into the depths of Strahd's lair.
Hey y'all, Serena here. If you like what you're watching, you can scroll down the page a little bit and hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell to stay notified for when our next episode goes live. You can also click through to our channel to watch all of our past sessions, fireside chats, and highlights from the stream. If you want to stay connected with us, you can do so via our Reddit, reddit.com/r/twicebittendnd, or our Twitter page at twicebittencos, or by good old-fashioned email, twicebittencos@gmail.com.
And welcome back, everyone. So, we descend once more to the depths of Castle Ravenloft, beneath the catacombs themselves, where the companions had recently finished destroying 3 vampire spawn that had been guarding what they presumed to be the very coffin and crypt of Strahd von Zarovich. As the group of you find yourselves in this earthen tomb, the smashed splinters and debris of the once finely black lacquered wooden coffin on the floor, the burned and boiled flesh of the vampire spawn now disintegrated into dust, leaving behind their stained and tattered gowns, and an assortment of precious jewelry on the ground behind them. What would you all like to do?
Oh, yes.
Yes, oh my goodness, what did you... She sees the coffin and is like, well, this is going to amp things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Kiva just grins at her with her, like, feral rage, black blood smile.
I think that we've just backed Strahd into a corner.
Yeah, I figured we could back him more, and if maybe sprinkle a little bit of holy water all over that, just
I
insurance.
don't think that will be necessary.
Oh, well,
With
fine.
his coffin destroyed, he has no place to return to. If his physical form is damaged, usually it is the nature of an immortal, as a vampire, to retreat to its resting place. But with it gone, even if he dies outside of sunlight, he will burn away like mist in the morning dawn.
Wait. So what if we just leave now, and then he has no place to sleep, right? He'll just get exhausted over 6 days and die.
Well, no, I'm certain that he would be able to reassemble some sort of resting place, but barring an alternative, which he may have, I will not deny, but if he does not have it, especially not within a brief distance of the castle, then if we can destroy his physical form and reduce him to mist, he will have a very short time limit before his misted form burns up and nothing remains.
So, as you have studied him far more than we have, do you think he is the type of person to have a backup?
I could not say. It is possible that he's certainly intelligent enough to have considered such a thing. Vampire spawn are known to often be relocated in... Well, we saw it ourselves in the temple. The crates that had been made for the vampire spawns there. Certain vampires can duplicate the effects of their resting place coffin by mixing their own grave dirt with the dirt that they find elsewhere that dilutes the comfort for them, but it preserves the restorative effect should they find their way there. But he is also arrogant, and he might not have conceived that we would even dare doing such a thing, or that we could. So...
Well, then do you think it might
not
be
say.
worthwhile to bless the dirt anyway, just in case we manage to give him enough time to gather something up and put it somewhere else?
I do not think that would have any preventative effect, I'm afraid. It might be better to hold on to our holy water for more advantageous situations. But there's a good thought, though.
Yeah, when we see him, just, chuck it in his face.
And there's no chance that he can simply go into somebody else's resting place? And she sort of gestures towards, like, the 50 crypts out there.
Well, no, it must be his own, and it must be enclosed. A crypt is not sufficient. He could not operate upon a simple marble slab unless he has advanced so far beyond his own vampiric roots. It must be a coffin or some sort of enclosure that can hold the dirt of the grave. You see these... There's a three over there, and she gestures to the pits. That is an unorthodox way of doing it, and I do not doubt that they suffered much discomfort. But without an enclosure to hold the earth of the grave in which he was... Well, I do not know his own history. I do not know where he would have gotten it from, but without some sort of compartment with which to return to, he could not simply operate into any place of death. It is not quite so metaphysical.
Lillison nods slowly. She is definitely not, taking mental notes for herself or anything like that.
Any future vampires in the room? Anyone? Kiva is going to start gathering up any reasonable-sized splinters that might be, vaguely stake-like in shape.
Oh, yeah. There are a few, if you wanted to make, improvised wooden stakes out of the coffin.
Hell yeah.
Some of them take a little bit of whittling with the sun sword or other materials, but you can do it without too much difficulty. I'd say you can get 3 good-sized stakes-shaped splinters.
She's not going to keep one for herself because she's got the sun sword and the symbol. So she'll give one to Metreon, Erthrindir, and I don't know. Amity?
Probably Ez.
Yeah, or Ez, unless she has her own stakes already.
She opens the other side of her cloak, and you see 3 wooden stakes and little, holding slots there.
Amazing. So she'll just,
Sorry, I can't prepare it.
She'll just give it to Amity. And, look at Kai and just say, we can take care of him with these fancy swords.
Lillison nods back.
All right. Well, this is farther than I thought we'd ever get.
We found some pretty cool stuff down there. I mean, your scrolls, they're what, pretty powerful or very powerful?
They're good stuff, yeah.
But I'd bet that Strahd's keeping some more powerful stuff elsewhere somewhere in this castle.
Probably.
And as far as finding it goes, there's this story that's been in the back of my mind for a while. And to put a long story short, I finally realized how Cinderella happened.
What?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
There's a part of Cinderella that you might not have been told if you just got the, 4 kids version, where she visits her mother's grave every day to pray there. And one day, her mother teleports. Her mother's corpse teleports out of the grave and appears in front of her. And it shows her how she can go to the King's Festival.
I had always heard of it as a white bird, but yes, go on.
There's different versions, but I think if this was based on something that actually happened, then it was her mother's corpse teleporting out of the grave and telling her this.
Are you saying that little rag doll we've been lugging around, is that what you're implying?
It's about time he becomes some use.
That's why I've been carrying him around. Yes.
You feel like he can take us to the king's party? You mean just like getting around this place?
I think you can answer some questions for me. Maybe tell me where we can go to find the biggest secrets of the castle. It will be risky, because, well, I'll tell you that the thing that appeared in front of Cinderella was not her mother. It just had her mother's corpse.
That's terrifying, but I'm willing to try.
I am 100% on board for this horrifying experiment, Amity.
Wow, okay. I guess I sort of thought Earthrendir at least would be like, that's too creepy, let's not do it. But if you're all on board...
I've been tomb robbing all day. I think I'm kind of numb to the whole affair. And you deserve a chance to contribute to our own success. If you think this is the best idea, then I trust you.
All right. Amity starts in the sort of dirt here, starts tracing out a little pentagram shape and places Rahadin in the middle of it. So like I said last time, don't panic unless I tell you to panic, in which case start mildly panicking. In the form of attacking the thing.
Kiva keeps the sun sword like ready and raring to go.
All right.
Amity lays Rahadin's corpse lying on his back right in the middle of a pentagram. She kneels in front of it, and she's going to go ahead and cast one of her level 10 magical secrets, Summon Greater Demon.
Oh.
To summon
shit.
a Dybbuk. D-Y-B-B-U-K.
Ooh.
I am obsessed.
I'm so good right now. So good.
Holy shit, Linus.
Holy fuck.
What does it look like, Dragma?
There is
If
a
you-
brief beat of silence, a pause to the air, and then the evil miasma in the crypt seems to grow even thicker, even darker as the torches burning, the braziers shift and whirl, their flames turning a sickly, brackish, grayish blue. There becomes a manifestation of mist swirling like a sickly wind above the pentagram, congealing with almost bleeding reddish blood down alongside each angle of this thick grayish cloud before it slowly comes together, congealing like this thick oozing goo, this unpleasant miasma, until this amorphous mass begins to take shape above the pentagram, above the corpse, trailing long grayish blue tendrils spotted with sickly purple veins all across it, slowly hovering there for a moment. And then, in your mind, Amity, you hear, with a hoarse whisper, dying and dead as the grave,
"What would you have me do, my master?"
We are hunting prey. Tell us your true name and then possess this corpse.
It swirls in the air, roiling with evident displeasure. You can almost see it bearing long strands of ghastly maw opening across it as tendrils writhe in anger.
Drolmamoth, I am called.
And then with a wail, it soars down, plummeting into Rodden's corpse, its tendrils wrapping around its arms, chest, torso before plunging directly into it. And Rodden's eyes flash open, his neck bending with a sickening crunch, slowly, piece by piece, pushing up from the grave, eyeing Amity directly in the face with a baleful, leering grin. I believe there's a charisma saving throw involved, right?
Yeah, he gets to make a charisma saving throw.
All right, let's see how it does. Straight charisma save. I'm very sorry.
No.
Fuck. I'm
It's
gonna
a
okay.
21.
I'm gonna give this one more shot,
Wait, but you said
But
its true
for-
name.
Yeah, but so I don't think I can say its true name on the first turn when it tells me.
Not on the first turn, no.
Yeah, but on future turns I could have. But I will give this another shot. But presumably something will happen before I get to do that.
Yes. With that, I will need everyone to please roll initiative.
Oh my goodness!
yeah.
I am ready for
Prepare
this.
this scene.
Oh, I am ready for this.
So let's
The
do a
new
little
Dark
bit
Lord of
cleanup here.
Ravenloft, this fucking demon.
We'll pull our good friends in here.
And then Esmeralda's in here, right?
Yeah, Esmeralda is also inside. And our Dybbuk, who I shall drop in right here.
Is he still currently inside Rahadin?
Yes, inside Rahadin's corpse.
Splendid.
So let's get everyone added to initiative. And
All right.
from there, let's begin.
16.
12.
9.
7.
Immediately.
And I'm going to Cutting Words the Dybbuk's initiative to be below Amity's.
Okay. What's it reduced by?
1. Amity, do you have a decent dex mod?
Let's see.
It doesn't matter. It's using Rahadin's dex.
Oh shit.
True.
Why?
So with that, Esmeralda's up first as she watches with baleful horror as the Dybbuk springs from the floor, its hands stretching directly for Amity's throat. I will say there's a brief moment during which Amity can say something if she would like to.
Start slightly panicking.
Oh god.
Should we
damn
get it?
It's kill it or keep it contained.
All right. Esmeralda will launch forward and she will attempt to grapple it, she guesses. That's an 8, which is not very good. And the Dybbuk rolls a 1. She latches around it as it's distracted, its arms inches away from Amity's throat before Esmeralda tackles it with a right to the ground. I forget what the football player position is called, but let's just say she tackles it and hauls it away from Amity as it gnaws, snarling, biting at the air. It is grappled by Esmeralda. Stay still, you damn demonic. Ah! That is the end of her turn. It is the Dybbuk's turn. Actually, no, Esmeralda will attempt to pull the Dybbuk away. So she's going to move over here and move back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can do that. All right. The Dybbuk is, for the moment, contained. Amity, you're up. Actually, no, the Dybbuk is up. It's going to attack Esmeralda by attempting to throttle her. Let's see how it does. That is an 8. Esmeralda bats its attempt away. It snarls. All right, Amity, you're up.
All right, it's not that powerful. We can kill it. So Amity is going to cast Dissonant Whispers. I guess I don't remember whether this is using Rahadin's HP or its own HP right now. So probably
it's
Amity doesn't
currently
know
using
either.
Rahadin's HP.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh yes.
If we can get it out of Rahadin, it'll be easy to kill. I don't know how to do that. She is going to go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers on the Rahadin being
All right, it'll make a wisdom
to
save.
get some damage in.
That is another 21.
It's too good at saves today. Okay, but it takes like some pittance of 5 damage. Amity is
All right.
going to then strategically back up. And that's her turn as she goes to the back end of the little crypt here.
All right, it is the Divic's turn. It will attempt to escape from Esmeralda's grasp. It rolls a 14. Esmeralda will make a contested check with her strength. A 12. The Divic slips free, nimble and slippery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kiva gets an AOO if she'd like.
Okay. I'm gonna ask something. It might not work. Since Turn the Unholy is an action, can I use that as my opportunity?
Unfortunately not, but you can do it on your turn.
Okay. All right. Then she'll just swing at it with the Sun Sword.
All right, go for it.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, that'll hit.
6 radiant damage, and is this an undead? It's
Currently,
corpse?
it's tough to
or
say.
Is it like a puppet type deal, like where it wouldn't matter?
It is.
Its type
Yeah,
is
its type
currently
becomes undead.
undead.
Yes.
Oh,
So
it becomes
it'll-
undead? Okay.
So it'll take 1d8.
Yes.
While all this is happening, I drop
3.
concentration on something
It's
for the demon.
9 total.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. With that, that is the end of Divic's turn as it makes its way toward Amity, seeming fixated on her. Metron, you're up.
Yeah, holy hell. Metreon sees this thing now scuttling over towards where he is. Doesn't like that. And he's going to go ahead and just instinctively launch out a few Eldritch Blasts at it.
All right, go for it.
That's a 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
So that's going to be 2 plus 4, so 6 force damage for the first one.
All right.
And then another one. Ooh, that's a natural 20. So that's going to be 28 total. I assume that hits.
Yes, it very much does.
Okay, so it's going to be 16 points of force damage.
All right. Blam, blam. The 2 blasts smash across its side, but it seems to barely notice it. Rod and some thick
Shit. And then, just going to go ahead and move to the other side.
All right.
Right over here.
With that, Kiva is up.
All right. Using the holy symbol, she's going to expend 3 charges and use Turn the Unholy, which means it has a disadvantage on the saving throw against it. And it's,
Hell yeah.
wisdom saving throw.
All right. It'll make a wisdom save with disadvantage. That is a 7.
Hell yeah, goodbye. It has to spend its turns moving away from me as far as it can. Can't willingly move into a space within 30 feet of you. Can't take reactions. And it can only use the dash action or dodge if there's nowhere to move. And then she is going to yell at Amity, who seems to be the primary target, to get as close to her as possible. Because that way it'll also stay away from her by virtue of the thing.
All right. Very good. Lilison, you're up.
Lilison is glancing back and forth between this thing and Amity, and she yells, Are we trying to contain it? Are we destroying it?
The demon should go away in somewhere between now and like half a minute from now, if we just do nothing.
Is doing nothing an option?
Amity shrugs. It's sort of
Kiva can say
fearful right now, but
Kiva would say yes because she's currently turned it. So there is the option to just yeah, we have some time to just let it go away.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Lillison is going to look fearfully at this thing and back up. That is what she's going to do with her turn.
All right. Probably wise. Aerith, you're up.
Aerith is staring at the reanimated Rahadin like he didn't quite realize how horrible this was going to be. And he raises his wand and sword at the same time as if he's just going to charge this thing. And then he sighs and closes his eyes. Alright. But I will take one for the road. As he hurls a firebolt at it and then is going to spend the next 4 turns doing fuck all.
Alright, very good.
23 for 6 fire damage.
6 fire damage, it shall take.
And he's going to move over next to Amity.
Alright, Ez is up. She will lob a firebolt of her own.
I think we can just let this thing expire.
Oh, right. Very good then. Something I should note that I forgot to mention earlier, that Amity would have noticed before Detect Magic lost its concentration. There is strong auras of magic coming from the left and right alcoves at the far end of this crypt.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Amity would point that out at some point.
But you don't yet know what kind of magic it is. So, with that, Ez will take the dodge action. The Divik will take its turn. It will move back away from Kiva, screeching, screaming, joints popping as it twists and contorts itself. Unable to fully get away, it will take the dash action. The dodge action. But as it does, you watch as its head cracks violently to one side, slowly beginning to twist, rotating onto one side, and then vomiting a terrible mixture of blood and writhing maggots all across Amity's form. I will need everyone who can see this to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, fuck.
Hold on.
Amazing.
Hero's Feast.
Advantage on the wisdom saves?
Yeah, we have advantage.
19.
Oh! Dragnet question.
Yes.
Is this a fright effect?
This is a fright effect.
We're immune.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. You love the
We love that
Hero's Feast.
So good.
A delicious feast.
The Hero's Feast is the real MVP today.
I mean,
It
honestly.
really
100%.
is. Hot damn. And with that is the end of its turn. Amity, you're up.
Cool. I mean, as far as Amity is aware, it is under some 1d6 round timer to disappear. So Amity's just going to disengage and move next to Kiva, as Kiva previously suggested. Classic.
All right. And with that, is everyone just going to kind of watch this thing?
Aerith,
Kiva-
after that, is going to spend a few rounds getting some catharsis out via stabbing it repeatedly, but that's not really mechanical.
Very fair. Although
Kiva
you will
is going
actually...
to try to keep it boxed in, though, so it can't leave the room. So
Yeah, also that.
she'll, move into
Yes.
position so that there's no place to go.
Yep. And in that case, on its next turn then, as Aerith continues to stab it and as it continues to attempt to evade, you watch as Rahadin's head lolls back, and you watch crawling out of the mouth that jellyfish-like, long tendrilled, ghoulish blob forces its way out from the jaw, cracking open terribly, and blurs as it passes through the opposite wall as fast away from Kiva as it possibly can.
You know, I thought I saw everything, but it's really just icing on a shit cake. The hell was that, Amber?
That, the corpse flops to the ground, unmoving, and there is no sign of the creature again.
So, Metreon, that was a demon from the foul depths of the abyss, and I believe it has just been pulled back to the foul depths of the abyss.
Are you sure that's what happened? Because it looked like it went through the wall.
Oh, do you think it teleported away?
No, I think it went through a wall in the same way that sometimes I can go through a wall.
Oh.
And
Wait, have I seen you go through a wall? And
You have definitely seen me go through a wall at Arkansas.
okay. Cool.
Although maybe you didn't see me go through a wall, but I definitely went through a wall.
Then maybe let's group up near the middle of the room in case it comes back.
Well, wait, are we staying down here or are we just getting up? Getting out?
Oh, you said this thing would go away, right?
Yeah. In like 0 to 30 seconds, so it should go away soon.
Then let's spend a pleasant 30 seconds in here watching the walls.
A few moments pass. Nothing seems to immediately extrude from the walls or attack you.
Okay. Shit. So that was a... Demons can possess people like that?
This one can. And
And it...
when it
What was
does,
it gonna do?
when it does possess someone, it gets into their brain and learns everything they knew.
You would have had access to everything Rahada knew.
Yes, until it escaped, which
Yeah.
I was planning to try it at least twice, just because it's not likely that it would just escape immediately.
So you want to summon a second one?
Everybody grits your teeth and looks at the rest of the group.
Earth
roll
looks
that.
thoughtful.
Shrugs. If you want, I suppose if we think that we're going to get very valuable intel out of it, I wouldn't mind conjuring a protective circle that so it couldn't escape.
Earth
Well-
looks thoughtful for a moment. MD. Does that thing... Would I have any time before it starts to break out? Or does it just exert its will immediately?
I cast a spell, and I tell it what to do, and then right after that, before I can do anything else, I mean, maybe you can do something else.
No, that was my thing. That was what I was thinking. If I can be fast enough, I have a new spell that I learned from him, as he points at the corpse he has been stabbing repeatedly, that could give you an edge. Especially if you summon the same demon.
Oh, what's the spell?
It's called Mandsliver.
Ooh.
I will need to be faster than the demon, but I'm pretty fast, and, well, Rahadin's faster than me, but he's an ugly bastard, and I'm beautiful and cool, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right, so you want to do it?
I want to do it again. I mean, okay, to be clear, I don't want to. That was horrifying. but that's a really good plan.
When it does the things with the corpse, like spinning the head around and spitting out maggots, is just doing that for fun, like pranking us.
I hate its idea of fun.
Well, nobody ever said demonic pranks were going to be a laugh for everybody, but I think this was a wonderful idea. If we can get so much information, Lillison glances over towards Ez. What do you think the circle will help?
I think that it certainly couldn't hurt. It is a resource that I would not be able to use many times per day, so it comes down to whether or not you think it is necessary.
I think having a guide through the castle who knows it as intimately as Rahadin probably did would be incredible.
Just to be clear, even if we get good luck, it's staying around and answering questions for maybe 30 seconds.
Let me double check that actually. No, that's incorrect. If it doesn't break free, the spell lasts for an hour.
Wait, but it's making a saving throw every turn, right?
That's true.
So when I say good luck, I
yes,
mean
that's fair.
not perfect.
So we
luck.
probably should put this thing in a magic circle.
Well, yeah, but
Listen.
we really just need to prioritize what kind of questions we want to ask it. You know, I mean,
Right. Let's sit down and make a list.
All right. Well, I can tell you my list, and maybe you can improve it. So, I was going to ask, direct us to the most powerful magic items you know of in the castle, and then if there's any traps or obstacles along the way to them, and then what they do, and then if those all go well, ask how Strahd plans to kill us.
Wait, I wonder when this thing is going to be possessing that body, it will still retain its own mind, yes?
Yes. But it has to do what I tell it to, so it can't, like, lie if I ask it a question.
Even if it breaks free of your control, if it's contained, I wonder if I could persuade it to keep telling us things.
That's a good idea. And that's an argument for the magic circle, I think.
Yeah. I think, too, I remember I think it was the doctor, Van Richten, the heart, the thing that, like, that battery of his that keeps him going. I mean, maybe if we ask Rahadin, Metron does air quotes, where, like, the most direct, easy path to get there.
Then we could cut it off before we even fight him.
Yeah.
Metron, that's brilliant.
Well, thank you. I mean, you know.
All right. So it sounds like we have some shit to set up. Ez has got to set up our circle. We'll get our questions sorted. Lillison will get her best persuading voice on. Let's do it.
All right, Lillison, you can ask the questions, and I'll just say, one thing about the circle is that can things like teleport out of the circle? Can they just go right through the circle?
Oh, so that's but yes, things can escape the circle if they have some into teleportation. Does this?
Yeah, it can teleport constantly as much as it wants. Yes.
That's unfortunate. But the magic circle should provide at least a bit of a speed bump to that. It's not an automatic ability.
And I don't. Oh, it could probably like take the corpse with it out of the circle, but it couldn't teleport out while it's possessing the corpse.
Yeah.
We'll take what we can get.
All right, as we'll use 1 flask of holy water and 1 casting and 1/3 level spell slot to cast or begin by casting magic circle. If you'd like, she can signal to you just as she's about to conclude the spell, so you can summon it again.
Yep,
Amity.
and Aerith is going to ready an action to cast Mind Sliver on it the moment it appears.
All right. I will say that because of the way this is set up, because Amity is... Actually, no, you still will have to beat it in dexterity in an initiative check, but if you get there first, then it'll do it.
But, like, it... Okay, that's fair.
Once it appears, initiative starts.
Alrighty.
All right. With that said, Amity once more casting the spell as soon as Esmeralda concludes her own protective one. You see a 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of bluish, glittering energy spring from the ground, glowing runes swirling across the floor and ceiling, demarcating its boundaries. And as it does, Amity concludes the spell. You watch emerging forth from, once more, Rahadin's eagle-spread corpse on the ground at the center of the circle, this dark, wisping, bluish-black cloud of thick, miasmic fog. Are you summoning a different Dybbuk or the same one?
I can choose whether it's like the exact same named being.
I don't see why you couldn't.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say go for the one you have the name of.
Sure. The same exact one, which out of character I don't remember those syllables you said, but
Drolnumoth.
Drolnumoth. Yeah. Cool. It's cool that I have that choice. I'll summon Drolnumoth, and my first command to Drolnumoth will be Drolnumoth. As I said its true name. You hear that? I said it. Possess again, and then tell us, direct us to the most powerful magic items you know of in the castle. That was Amity's first question, so let Lillison take future questions.
All right.
Real quick question, though.
Yes.
How long does Kiva's turn effect last?
I can. It's only a minute, and I can turn it off on my own.
Okay. Because I don't want to come up and then be like,
yeah,
oh shit.
Yeah. No.
It's no longer applicable.
Should the demon and I roll off?
Yes. Give me a dex check.
13?
26.
Ah!
Actually, no, 24. But, yes, sorry. So it will first hiss, snarling toward Amity, "You again." But then, unhappily, it will dive into the corpse. And what was your question again?
Direct us to the most powerful magic items you know of in the castle. And it already had Rahadin's knowledge for a little bit before, so it can dip into it again now.
Yep. It will... You watch as its eyes snap open once again, and then flutter shut as it begins immersing itself in Rahadin's knowledge.
If the hunt for magical power is what takes you, listen closely, summoner. You will find what you seek atop the altar in the chapel, in a cell in the north dungeon, in a chamber guarded by iron knights within the mountain, in the crypt of Barendroof, and beneath the belfry, behind a secret door. Now free me! Free me!
And it will make a charisma check with disadvantage. 12. Failure.
There's a 9% chance it succeeds on each of these, possibly less now that Mind Sliver is going to be hitting it each turn.
Yep.
But the master of the questions, Lillison, can now take the floor. Lillison, I hope you wrote down the items in that list. I was writing as fast as I can.
I'm going to say Lillison did that in person because I did not do it out of character.
Yep.
Oh, well, I can tell you...
Should I read them again?
Yeah, I got some of them out of
All right.
character.
I have
but
4
slowly.
of
that'd be
5.
great.
So
Right.
do I, yeah.
Atop the altar in the chapel, in a cell in the north dungeon, in a chamber guarded by iron knights beneath the mountain, in the crypt of Barendroof, and beneath the belfry beyond a hidden door.
Okay, I've got them written down.
Is the chamber with Iron Knights, was that where we came in?
You
No,
could
I
be.
don't think
Well,
so.
they were bronze, I believe.
Yeah, they were bronze.
They were bronze.
Damn it, I don't know my medals.
And at this point, Erthrindu, your spell goes off if you'd like to cast Mind
Yep.
Sliver.
DC 15
All right, so-
and save.
All right, it will do so. 13. It takes some amount of damage, which is negligible because Rahadin is thick.
Yes.
And
And loses 1d4 on its next save.
All right.
As you can hear, some of the whispers that usually surround Rahadin now surrounding Erthrindir as the air seems to dim. Now, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. So please answer the questions if you wouldn't mind, or this is going to get worse.
it twists, contorting, snarling, its teeth baring as its jaw cracks once more, its eyes burning with loathing, but it waits for the next command. And it will only obey Amity. But Amity has abdicated to Lillison, so if Lillison would like to ask a question under Amity's authority.
Interesting. I was planning to do this not under Amity's authority, but by my own.
Well,
Up to you.
currently it's under control. So currently, I mean, you have complete authority.
Excellent. Lillison will pull out paper and a pen and sort of slide it through the circle and say, "Please, begin drawing us a map of the castle as perfectly as you know how."
I
You know
hate
it's-
you.
You know, it's only going to be on for like a minute, right?
It might not have time.
Yeah, you know, it's only going to be around for like a minute.
Too late. It's already
probably.
started drawing. It's
I-
being very slow and thorough. It's starting to draw a perfect circle. You can tell.
Lillison repeats this instruction with the force of a suggestion behind it.
All right. You watch as this greenish mist enters, passing through the magic circle, wisping around the creature's face, and then dissipating into nothingness. Rahadin's corpse twitches, its neck violently cracking to one side, its gaze lashing on Lillison, teeth opening, baring wide in a terrible grin. It slams against the side of the magic circle, both hands contorting, fingernails digging deep into the crackling, shimmering energy.
That don't work on me, little mortal. Give your little commands, but I obey only my summoner. For now.
Wilson quirks an eyebrow at Amity, shrugs a little bit, and says, "We're learning things."
So it's going to make another charisma check. Minus how much, Airthrindir?
4. And with disadvantage.
That's a -1.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nice.
What's your next question?
Well, it needs to make another int save, just continually.
Very fair.
Amity, are we
That's a
passing this
19.
back and forth, or?
Okay, it
Sure.
passes.
Amity will take one. You named 5 magic items. I think we found the one in Baron Roof's crypt already. Of the others, what's the most powerful one we can use? The location of it.
It looks thoughtful for a moment, and then shrugs.
Each one has its own powers. I cannot say what you might value. I am not, at least not in this body, some sort of all-knowing mage. This one knows only what he has been told or seen.
This guy's frustrating.
Ask him how to get to heart.
I think that's another charisma save.
Yep.
And he succeeded on the int check, so that's a 6
9%.
failure.
Cool.
Next question. And another int check. So that's a 5, that's a failure.
Alright, I'm with Metreon.
All right. So Metreon is Metreon asking this?
Well, he's asking you to ask it because he can't ask it himself.
Sure. Then on his behalf, how can we get to the heart that prevents Strahd from being damaged?
It bares Orhadin's teeth in a terrible grin, and then looks up, pointing beyond the crypt.
Exit the catacombs through the tunnel of the damned. Ascend the leftmost stair. Beyond the hidden door. And ascending to the main floor, there you shall find the Tower of the Blood-Red Heart.
That is going to be another charisma save.
Now, that's the kind of answer I like.
5 minus a bunch.
Yes.
All right, that's another failure. What's your next question? And I'm assuming that like each time you're doing like chip damage, but I'm gonna just be flat with you. He's got 135 temp hit
Yeah,
points right now.
I do not expect to hurt him.
Yeah, he looks very uncomfortable and upset, but he's not dying over here.
How do we destroy the heart?
This one does not know. He's never seen it destroyed.
That's another charisma save. Oh, and an int check, I guess, but it rolled very low, so it doesn't matter.
Can I just say that this demon is really creepy? I like it.
Yeah, I love this shit.
Next question, please. Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Next question.
What are the most deadly traps within this castle that you know of?
And where are they located?
It's going to think about that for a moment, as the DM does as well.
I'm impressed you know Ravenloft this well, honestly.
I see these maps on the inside of my eyelids. It's a terrible curse.
Are we gonna have the TPK Express given to us?
All right, it will answer slowly, and bear with me as I flip through my notes here.
Once entered the castle, do not attempt to exit it by the main way. The Guardians will see to it that you are destroyed.
It then ponders as it prepares to think of its next response.
If it doesn't tell us about the elevator, I'm going to riot.
Yeah, it has
Don't worry,
to.
I'm
It has
going
to.
floor by floor. I'm going floor by floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Actually, you know what? This is very interesting. What was the exact phrasing? Was what are the deadliest traps? Right.
Yeah.
Great.
I thought was.
And where are they?
Yeah, deadliest traps and where are they located was the
All right.
question.
Its next answer is
Beyond that, there are a number of trapped crypts in the catacombs that I would not advise venturing into. Those are the deadliest traps that I can think of from this one's knowledge.
Which ones?
I mean, we've gone through all of them.
One loses track.
That's gonna be another Christmas save, and an int save.
Yep.
It fails the int save.
Yep.
That's a 7 minus a bunch. It fails.
Ask it if there's anything.
Oh, and it will add,
directly-
in the interest of good faith, it will also add to its question.
There may be other traps throughout the castle, but I don't know how deadly they might be. Without a little bit of help.
Kiva will turn to Amity and ask if there's anything directly in the path that he told us to get to the heart. If there's anything that we have to worry about on that path, because I feel like that's where we're going next, right?
Yeah.
You gave us a quite good path to the heart. Thank you for the detailed instructions. Are there any traps or obstacles along that path?
It scowls, looking very unhappy, and then says,
In the crawling tunnel, you shall find a hidden trapdoor. Should you weigh upon it, it will spirit you down into the dungeons, trapping you there to rot. Within the Chamberlain's office, atop the leftmost stair, this one's body knows it well, you will find a demon that lurks within the walls, cast of shadows, one of my own kin. And should you climb the tower to the heart, be wary, for it lives and shakes with terrible wrath.
Aerith looks over to the others. Y'all mind if I ask some?
I've got
Go
nothing
ahead.
to say to this motherfucker.
Alright. You mentioned that our way to get up to the heart was the Tunnel of the Damned. Where specifically is that, and how do we access it?
I think I actually
It's-
saw it earlier.
Oh, you did?
But
well,
let's hear
it's
what
already
he...
answered.
Yes, let's hear what he
oh,
has
and
to
actually,
say.
I think it makes did it make a Christmas save for its last check
Nope.
yet?
No.
It's going to do that.
Well, it needs to make an end save.
That's a 19. It succeeds on the int check.
Bollocks.
Charisma is a 10. Another failure. We
I
love
love
our
this.
3% probabilities, don't we, folks?
Yeah.
I do.
5.4%. Depending on the mind sliver.
So,
Was there a question asked, or is
there
it my
was.
turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the question? Sorry, can you confirm?
What is this Tunnel of the Damned that we go to get to the heart, and where is it?
Newly carved transport, created after the Lord of the Castle sealed off the main entry to the catacombs. Find the epitaph marking those who walk the pain of path and torment. There you shall find what you seek.
It'll make another series of checks.
Lillison nods along with this description.
Succeeding on the intelligence, but rolling a 9 for charisma.
Alright.
And
the
I just realized
charisma
something,
check?
actually, unfortunately, that I've been doing wrong this whole time,
What?
which I'm going to change now. The Dybbuk has advantage on saves against spells and magical effects.
But it's
Oh, so
currently
it's-
possessing Rahadin, and it's effective.
Oh, that's true. It's lost its stat
Yeah.
block. You're right.
Yeah, so
Very
that's-
good point.
it's using its own charisma to make the saves because it
Yes.
retains its charisma score, but it doesn't maintain.
Man, that's cool.
Okay.
All right, outstanding. I love it. All right,
Aerith-
we'll continue using disadvantage then. What's the next
Aerith holds
question?
up a finger. From your knowledge, outside of the spell Fireball, what spells in Strahd's arsenal that he typically prepares are the most dangerous, or
Or just tell us all of them.
or just all of them?
Yeah,
if you know
tell us
them?
all the spells. Yeah.
But if not, then
Briefly.
the ones you've seen. Briefly.
The Vampire Lord has many magics at his disposal, pilfered and obtained from sources of many arcanum, but has favored the animation of objects to attack for his bidding, the transmutation of a creature's form into another, the veil of invisibility, a spike of necrotic energy, the animation of the dead, the reading of thoughts, the summoning of the winds, the reflection of attacks as if through mirrors, a conjuring of the mists to wrap around him, and an insight into the languages spoken in any land.
And that is, I believe, another
incredibly
save.
thorough. Yes, and a net save.
Yep.
Yeah.
Succeeds in the int save.
Oh, no.
That is a 10 on the charisma save.
Look, I'm taking all its luck on the end saves. I'm soaking it up.
All right, Amity's turn. She's interested in these magic items. You mentioned magic items in the belfry behind the secret door. Can you give us instructions on how to get there and any obstacles that might be in the way?
It slowly nods.
From the Chamberlain's office, ascend to the Tower of the Heart. On the 3rd floor, travel south into the vampire study. Beyond a secret door in the hearth, you shall find a false treasury. Beyond a hidden door there, you shall find the belfry and the hidden entrance to the vampire's secret treasury.
That'll be another series of saves.
I love this.
I love how this is just like literally turning to like, hey guys, what if we actually did read the module?
Hey,
It's
welcome
great.
to
It's kind of full circle.
Dragna's Trivia Quiz.
Yeah, I got this shit. That is a 17 intelligence, but a 6 charisma. So
I'm
Next
soaking up the good
question.
rolls.
What kinds of other creatures live in this castle, and what kinds of forces does the master have at his disposal here?
The bats, of course. His children. A coven of mad witches and warlocks that name themselves the siblings of Zarovich, though not where he can hear. Zombies born of his foul experiments. Wights that march in ruined armor and rusted blades. And of course, the Lord himself.
that's another int and another charisma with disadvantage.
None of those sound particularly difficult to deal with.
6 charisma. Next question. How many questions? This has got to be like 12, right?
Yeah, so far
This
it's
is
like
nuts.
11 or 12, yeah.
Beautiful. What's up next?
We're with the hero's feast, we're immune to poison damage, like being frightened and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kiva's wondering, I guess, other than fireball, potentially, is there any other things that would affect, like, condition status? Like, disease or, something like that, like, because it might not be a physical attack, it might be something that, like, I don't know, does that make sense? I don't know how to phrase
So something that Strahd can do, or something that the castle can do? What do you?
Something that
just
the
to clarify.
castle can do, like with a trap, or something Strahd can do. Whatever the answer is, I guess. I don't know. She would maybe ask about.
Are you
both
looking for like a
again.
description of all other traps that it didn't already mention?
I mean, if he has them, and if we have the time, it might be worthwhile. I mean,
Okay.
fuck it. Yeah,
So-
let's get all the traps.
We might need
it's-
to like speed up
Mhm.
that bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then
Some
answer.
traps in 6 seconds, and then we can...
Vrr.
The trapdoor in the tunnel I have mentioned. Beyond that, be wary of a corridor in the cellar, where the seams in the stone lead to a mechanism that will pull you high in the towers, filling your lungs with gas until you fall asleep, victim to the mercy of those that would find you.
It looks like it'll continue, but it'll make another save.
I'd like to interrupt with one question before it continues, just to get all the questions around.
But I guess another mind sliver is in order.
Yep.
Okay. That is a 5. It fails. It rolls a 5 on its charisma check. 6, sorry, but still too low.
I almost feel bad for this guy.
I don't.
He's doing what he's paid for. What's the next question?
We've heard rumors that Strahd can walk through the walls in his own castle. Can you elaborate on how this works and if there's anything we can do to prevent it?
He is like a shadow, like the mist, passing through the walls. Be wary. If he knows to expect you, then he is too slippery to be caught. The floors, the walls, the ceilings, they are no bar to his passage. End is returning. He could be, beyond these walls just now, waiting for the moment to strike.
Out of character, I think we should ask about legendary resistances next to figure out how that works, how he's able to resist some effects, because they've seen that in person.
Van Richten told us about it, though.
Oh, he did? Okay.
It's gonna make
He
it
told us there were
saves
3
real quick.
or something.
Okay.
It
Yep.
fails the intelligence, I believe.
Yep.
And it rolls an 11 on the charisma, so it still is controlled.
The only question Amity has left is about the chamber with the Iron Knights beneath the mountain. Other people can ask questions before that.
It also can continue telling us about more traps.
True.
It's like tapping its clawed finger on the edge of the magic circle. Looking
Yeah,
at you.
like traps.
Come on, we got places to be.
Let's go traps.
Although, will we find any allies to our cause within these walls? Those who would wish to destroy the master of this castle?
If they would have dwelled here, this one would not have long suffered them to live.
That's another save. Failure on the mind sliver, and 11 on the charisma. It is still bound.
Okay.
Next question.
Who is Sergei von Zarevich?
Ooh. Do you not know? He is
No.
the brother of Lord Strahd von Zarevich, slain by his own hand. The groom to his forsaken love. Kinslayer, they called Strahd when Sergei died at his hand.
That feels like a story!
Yeah,
Another series of saves.
Metreon just starts to kind of massage his face, which still looks just like Sergei's.
It fails the charisma save.
One more sequence of directions. The chamber with the Iron Knights beneath the mountain.
It lies at the end of the Tunnel of the Damned, at the base of the staircase that ascends to the Chamberlain's office. Follow the path to the Crystal Tower, and you shall pass by the Knights.
Oh, so we were already gonna pass through it. Okay.
Does the lord of this castle have
Sorry,
any...
1 second. Another in save, which is a save.
I think this
and
is
an
his
11 on charisma.
15th charisma save.
Yeah, we're going strong. He fails again. Sorry, Lillison, you're up.
Ooh.
Does the lord
This
of this
is so dumb.
castle have any backup resting places, as far as you know?
Not to this one's knowledge. This one thought that his master could never be destroyed. Such a thing would be unthinkable to him.
3 more saves.
Melissa nods smugly.
That is a 15 on the charisma save with disadvantage, and it saves on the mind sliver. What's the DC?
17 is the DC.
Fails by 2.
Yeah,
Nice!
you are using its charisma score, right? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. On the path to the belfry behind the secret doors, you mentioned 3 secret doors. 1 through a hearth, 1 past a false treasury, 1 in a belfry. Can you elaborate on how they're hidden, just in case we can't find them?
From the study, the secret to opening the door in the hearth once the fire is extinguished lies amidst the poker by the flames. Beyond that, in a chamber meant to lure treasure seekers to their deaths, replace the torch in its rightful place.
Actually, let me just double check that real quick, because I want to make sure I'm getting it right. Excellent, yes. So it will say that.
And for the final one. Well, the final hidden door should be easy enough to find. If you can make it past the occupants and their mandibles and webs.
Aerith looks up the stairs at where Irene is waiting, swallows, and asks, "You mentioned that there was to be a wedding of Sergei and who is it going to be to?"
The Dybic's gaze twists violently, locking directly upon Irina. It slowly lifts a decrepit hand to point toward her and begins laughing.
Do you not know her? She stands among you.
Kiva just sort of looks over at Irina
Yeah, same.
to gauge her
Yeah.
reaction to this.
Irina just kind of nodding, both looking slightly unsettled and looking as though it's just confirmed something she was thinking about.
Please elucidate that statement.
She's looks very pale, shaking somewhat. You see her fingers are trembling, and she just kind of swallows, licking her lips, looking very uncertain, but she just nods, her face looking stony. And there's a small glint in her eye.
Do you want the next question?
Lillison glances over to Amity and says, "I wonder if it would go better if you ask him to draw the map."
Can you draw a quick map of the castle? No details, just as
And
fast as you
accurate.
can. Well,
All right, first it's going to make its saves.
yeah.
Int save is 19, it succeeds.
Right?
Charisma is a 10. All right, so you're asking to start sketching out a very rough map of the castle?
Accurate with regards to connections, but it needn't
Gotcha.
be perfect shapes.
It's like the brainstorming, like, DM's notes version. Like, it's like, yeah. All right. It will start sketching out. I will say that per floor, this is gonna take 2 rounds each.
I'll roll those saves.
All right, so first it's gonna do, you see it drawing out 1 level. It's going to label at the bottom, catacombs and dungeons. God, I'm literally just handing you the fucking
Yeah,
module
no,
at this
he,
point,
he
aren't
just
I?
can Rahada just reach into his cloak and just give
Pull
us
out a
Castle
copy of
Strahd
the
chapter 4.
module.
I stole it from Christopher Perkins.
Oh no!
All right, first one,
That's what
insane.
you should have named the
That's a
Diva
4.
Christopher Perkins.
Don't tempt me. Fails the int save. That's a 13 anyway. So it's drawn the catacombs and the crypts. Next one succeeds the int save. 7 charisma. It hands you it slaps a copy of a very rough map of the catacombs, labeling crypts, tunnel, tombs, brazier room, stairs, torture room, and dungeons.
I feed it more paper.
Oh my god. All right.
We are getting
we've officially turned this Dybbuk into a Kinko's.
We are getting our money's worth out of all of the spell slots we put into this.
Yeah.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
This
oh
is
my
what
god.
happens when you put reluctant heroes into brave.
Yeah, gathering
I love it.
information.
I love it. I love it. This is fantastic. All right, next save. It's going to start drawing the next floor up.
Yeah. While it's doing all this, I
Um,
would like to credit my Warlock player for coming up with this whole idea while I ran Curse of Strahd and dipping like 10 different freaking NPCs after killing them.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, it fails its next save, so it's going to start drawing the next floor up. For whatever reason, it seems to have this kind of well, first off, it's going to draw a few different rooms. You see Chamberlain's office, guards' chambers, stairs to Crystal Tower. It's going to make another series of saves. Fails the int save. Natural 1 in charisma. It's going to finish the drawing. You see it draw, mark down Hall of Bones, guard quarters 2, kitchen, stairs to servants. It marks off a big trap, and then with a strange sort of flair, you're not sure if it's its taste or Rahadin's. It marks it as Larders of Ill Omen, and then slaps it into your hand.
I'm obsessed.
I love this guy.
Just like putting like 15 more sheets of paper through the circle.
Don't worry, Dragna. There's
There's
an average of only 16 more. So
I feel like we're in the
Oh,
inverse
no.
of the situation where we tried to get the abbot to be in a zone of truth.
Hey guys, we're gonna get to Matrina today.
Yeah,
We're
remember
gonna read
when we
the-
said that? Remember when we said those words?
Wait, Katrina, he's making charisma saves.
Chris is just like waiting in her tomb, like I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm like 6 feet away.
Hello?
All right, another round of saves for our friend the Dip because it starts on the next floor. That is a failure on its mind sliver, and another natural one is charisma save.
That's
What is-
that's
Jesus
a -3.
Yeah. It's gonna start sketching out. It's gonna label it as main floor. And it's going to start sketching out the main entrance, the foyer, the dining hall. It looks like a long hallway, stairs upward. It's gonna make another series of saves. Succeeds in the mind sliver. Ooh, 16 on the charisma save. So close.
Question.
Answer.
Should I roll like 20d6 to see if I've killed it yet?
Probably. Well, actually, how many times has it failed?
Good question.
I mean, I would say that it's, going off memory, it's failed about half the time,
Yeah,
which means that on average it's, I mean, mind sliver is only 1d4 damage, right?
it's 2d6.
Oh, cantrip, right, yeah. Please roll that.
20d6?
Yes, please. Or
61
actually,
damage.
okay. He's not even bloodied.
Excellent.
He screams
Dude,
around
it's
there.
all
Everyone here
okay.
seems like vaguely offended that he isn't even hurting this thing.
So
As he
while
just
he's-
concentrates really hard at it.
while he's drawing the map, can he not answer questions? Is that what the deal is?
Correct.
Okay.
He's a very focused artist.
Right. Kiva will, I guess, look to Amity and the others, and just with the, I don't know if we still have the telekinesis thing going or telepathy.
We do.
anything. Okay. In the Discord group chat, she's gonna say, if this guy's lived with Strahd his entire life, almost, he has to know outside of, weaknesses to sunlight, what Strahd's biggest weaknesses. Whether it's arrogance or something, he has to know something that'll trip him up, right? Something that a place that he never goes in the castle, or something he's afraid to do. So I think we should probably try to get some information about personality too, something that we can use against him, even if it's not with physical violence.
All right, hold off on the map for just a bit. What would you say that Strahd's greatest weakness, personality-wise, is? Like arrogance, or never going to a particular part of the castle? Amity's just echoing what Kiva said, but not in the group chat so that the demon can hear it.
This one, it looks thoughtful. Perceived its master to have no physical weaknesses, a perfect being to be served and obeyed. But there is one memory that burns in its mind, like a searing brand across its memories. A coffin bearing the name of its lord's brother, upon which its lord lay sprawled and weeping with despair and regret.
Kiva just looks over at Metreon, who is still wearing Sergei's face.
Yeah, Metron just kind of gives like the awkward smile emoji face.
Kiva just looks like rejuvenated with that knowledge, and is like, good. We're glad we got that info.
All right, now keep drawing maps.
All right, I'll make another
poor
series of
man.
saves.
This poor
Another
demon.
int save. Are you even paying minimum wage?
No.
All right, it fails.
Are we paying this guy at all? Yeah, fuck it.
All right, it fails.
Whatever.
It'll keep going with the next map. Moving up to the second floor of the castle. It'll start drawing like this entry space, the throne room, a little space it marks as accountant.
Also, Dragna, from here on out, how about we only roll Mind Sliver if it would roll above 17?
That's fair.
Yeah.
We're paying him with a promise.
And we'll just assume that it fails a certain
Yeah.
amount of the time.
Yeah.
All right.
That this will all lead to incredible violence, which I think demons are a fan of.
All right. On that note,
Are you saying that we're paying
it
him with
fails charisma.
exposure?
Yeah.
Yeah. It fails the next charisma, so it finishes the next map and hands it to you. Oh man, why can't I remember what this is called? I'm gonna cheat and look at my notes. I'm an imperfect DM. The Court of the Count is the next label that it hands to you. The second floor of Ravenloft.
All right. Well, he has a stack of at least 13 more sheets of paper.
He will continue drawing. Next up, charisma save. That's a 15 failure. That disadvantage is really tough to get through. It starts drawing the next one. You see a study, a bathroom, a dining chamber, a bedroom. That's a 10, another failure. It continues drawing. It draws the crystal tower, a hidden hall, and the actual path to the treasury and the belfry. It labels this with a flourish, Rooms of Weeping, and slaps it into your hand.
How
Next
many
up.
floors are in this place? That is not a question.
Do you want me to work or answer?
Work.
Keep working.
All right, it'll keep working. Next up, it's going to take 3 checks to finish this, but then it'll be done. So, it'll first draw like a guest room, a lounge of sorts, stairs leading upward, elegant rooftops. Another save. Failure. That's a 12. Jesus, how hard is it to roll a 15? God damn it.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, it's a little hard. Then it draws from there a chamber of belonging to a coven, an ingredient room, a rooftop. Another series of saves. That's a 10. Then it draws a mock-up of a crystalline heart ascending to a higher peak, and then with a flourish jots down Spires of Ravenloft and looks up at you expectantly.
Free me then. I have done what you asked.
Lilson carefully collects all of these maps, holding them, very close, and glances over to Amity.
Anyone else have anything they want to ask?
I wouldn't mind if we let this thing go. I'm getting really tired of the same incantation over and over.
Is there anything else we should know?
I mean, it's a valid question.
Oh no, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anything else you should know? Yes. I have served you as you asked. Again, thrice I asked. Free me, free me, free me!
Yes, and maybe in the future I can summon you back and give you a treat. But for now, take a round to do what you'd like with this corpse, and then dispossess it and teleport 500 feet up.
It looks at you for a moment in almost like a brief gesture of appreciation and very grudging gratitude. And then simultaneously, all 4 of its limbs violently pop out of its sockets, it throws its heads back, and vomits a projectile mass of reddish-black blood directly at your face before vanishing. I need to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm making a dex save? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. That's a 6.
Oh,
You
no!
are covered in Rodden's half-decomposed blood. The
Aaron
corpse
just stands
flops to the
there,
bottom of the circle.
like blinks once.
I would
It's
say
full
that's
on.
worth it.
I think it's good war paint to go into the battle with, though, Kiva says as she's trying not to, vomit. She's, gagging into her hand.
It does not smell good.
Why don't we... Aerith is just scrounging in his pack, just throwing shit out. Come on, I have to have packed a towel, for love of God.
Ugh, no,
You do not find a towel.
this is why you should have learned that prestidigitation thing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What is 500 feet up?
Good
A
question.
500-foot fall.
Well, and then she starts riffling through the maps to see like whether or not there is in fact castle above us.
You notice one thing on reflection, Amity, but it's not likely to matter at this point. The Dybbuk has a 40-foot fly speed.
So I guess it could.
There's a brief moment where like the jellyfish-like demon appears like 200 feet over the top spire of Ravenloft. Any bats nearby are very confused. It dances, writhing for a moment, and then vanishes into the ether.
Oh, it's
Sure.
not gonna come back and haunt us?
You can have some fun.
Did it bring Rahadine's body with it?
No.
No,
Unless it
Rahadine's body
chose
exploded.
To. Yeah.
And then-
No, the body exploded.
But Amity's covered in right now.
Yeah, Amity's covered in rotten.
Delicious.
Okay. So, Aerith just sadly hands off his cloak to Amity. Just go for it. And then...
Wait, he's not handing his dress to Amity, is he?
No. Like,
Oh,
he's got a spare
good.
cloak
Okay,
that he
good,
is in.
good.
No, he's
Oh,
wearing
the,
this. Come on now.
The cloak that Lillison wore to meet with Strahd?
That one.
It's fitting.
It is. So, first off, Amity, I know I'm not supposed to say that was the coolest thing I've ever seen if it's not true. I think that's up there.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that you find. I mean, you have changed. The Etherin like a week ago said that even looting a corpse and taking a few coins from it was the most disturbing thing you could imagine. But now, I mean, you're fine with me summoning a demon that possesses a dead body and like twists it around. You are different.
I guess I am. Probably not for the better, but I am.
Oh yeah, if we ever travel back in time and tell past me that I would be at some point splashed in blood from a demon I summoned, I don't know how I would react to that.
Well, they can think what they like, because we're the people we are now. And I think I like the one that summoned a demon and gave us essentially a complete map of the castle and every trick that Strahd has in his playbook. I like her a lot.
And thank you, and not just me. I mean, you had that one spell that just happened to do exactly what we needed to keep it around.
Yeah.
And
Funnily enough, I learned it from Rahadin.
I feel like I need
That
to
is
point
very
out, just
funny.
OOC for people listening, absolutely none of this shit was coordinated.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah,
keeping this
no.
a secret since level like 6.
I'm so fucking jazzed right now.
Yeah.
I know. I was like Metron was so into the idea of just like not bringing his body along just because of gross, but this makes sense.
I mean, this is like
I
the
love
best
this.
possible outcome of this scenario. We
Yeah.
literally know everything.
Everything. We can, it's full circle. We are Curse of Strahd DMs playing Castle Ravenloft. We know the tricks.
It's the most meta of the meta.
Yeah.
Because of you, we have these like full maps, Lillison, and because of you, Kiva, we know that you, Metreon, is gonna make Strahd go insane.
Psychic damage. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Lillison is like flipping through all of these maps and like reorienting some of them and comparing the one of the crypts with where they are standing right now. And she puts a finger down on the map and says, "That is the, what did he call it? The Corridor of the Damned or something like that?"
Something like that.
Yes, I saw the inscription earlier. I looked at it and I told myself I elected not to go through it.
Smart woman.
Yeah, there's something like Path of Pain, right? It's torment. All
With
that.
the booby trap in the middle.
But we have at least one more thing we have to do here before we can leave, I think.
Right. Poor Casimir.
Yeah, I
Let's-
feel like
let's
it's been
get
itching to get in
Nods.
there.
Yeah, if y'all don't mind.
Sure. Sorry for the holdup. Let's get your sister back.
No, none at all. This has been extraordinarily helpful. But
And probably a
if
bit
anyone could have had
cathartic,
any
I
doubt
imagine.
between all this that you've discovered, I don't know how anyone. Well, I've heard of many who tried to go up against Strahd von Zarevich in their own time, but I think I'm beginning to think that y'all might have a true, better than even chance of it.
And
Eric?
if we don't, we have to make sure that these maps and the knowledge that we've gotten maybe gets back to people that would pass it along to the next group, right? And she's going to look at Davy and see if he sort of catches the drift.
What do you mean the next group?
Look, if we fail, we know we're not going to be the last unlucky group of bastards that comes into the mists, right? Apparently this happens enough that there's an entire ghostly parade to the castle. So even if we, for some reason, fail, maybe the next group will be lucky, and it'll be our work that got them there.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, I think about it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. MD.
Davian nods.
Right, in that case, do you want me to launch them? I could furl them up and tie them together, and if worse comes to worse, I can take them out.
Sounds smart.
Yeah.
Wilson starts copying the maps.
Yeah, for sure.
Multiple copies.
All right. Beautiful. All right, Davian will take one of the copies and tuck it into his cloak, nodding at you gratefully.
I'll say this, that when I joined up with you lot, I didn't have any idea where it might go, but there's nothing else. And I'll say this, I don't intend to see any of you fuckers fall. But should it happen, this alone is the greatest blow that any person has struck against Strahd von fucking Zarevich in the past 3 centuries. So you should feel glad about that, and you haven't even raised a finger against him yet.
I'm glad we had you along.
That makes 2 of us. So,
Yeah.
off to raise this one's dead sister then.
Yep, one last thing. As Aerith looks around at the others, do y'all have any further use for the corpse?
Not particularly.
I say we should probably burn it if we can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
As
maybe
Aerith-
let's just throw it in a pile of coffin right there and just, set the whole thing ablaze.
Yep. As Aerith
Yeah.
begins piling up wood on top of it.
Esmeralda raises a hand. Actually, I think that there might be another better way to dispose of it.
Yeah?
Much lower maintenance. Do you remember that crypt you found? The ones that Metrion didn't drop you in?
There's a quiet pause. And then Aerith says, no.
She shrugs. Fair enough.
I hated him, but not that much.
Oh no, I feel like maybe Kaz has a say in this.
I've got what I came for. As long as that bastard's dead where he can't hurt nobody else, I've got my own things to worry about.
Then let's let him burn.
I am very sympathetic to the idea of having him go out gloriously, but we don't want to draw anybody's attention to what we have done here.
Fine. Throw him to the ghouls. I won't be part of it. Let's get your sister back.
Wilson nods, looks at Ez, and very, very gingerly goes to start picking up, like, one of Rahadin's feet.
Ismark holds up a hand. If you don't want to do it, don't mind. I can carry it over.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And he slings Rahadin's corpse over his back with a bit of a shudder and begins marching his way back toward the crypt. You hear the sound of the stone slab grinding open, but you don't hear the corpse at the bottom, or what comes after.
I guess we regroup by Petrina's tomb after taking the rowboat bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You return back into the crypts, aligning yourselves outside of the tomb of Petrina Velikovna. Casimir places a hand against the crypt door, softly touching the epitaph, and sighs. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this moment. I must say I sincerely appreciate all you've done to help me get this far.
Of course. You've been a tremendous help to us, and you're going to help us kill this bastard. Then I'm happy to help you have your sibling back.
All right, then. In that case, let's go ahead with it and bring someone back. And he will step forward and look around. Does anyone mind giving me a hand with the door over here?
Metron pushes Earthendeer towards Casimir.
Fuck you, but he'll help.
All right. Moving together, you grunt and heave, grinding the stone slab of the crypt aside. And as soon as you do, from beyond the door, from the darkness, comes a horrifying visage. A spectral elf maiden twisted by the horror of her undead existence. She wails at the very sound, claws at your soul. I will need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, please. And roll initiative.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's an 8.
That's a 22.
What?
I don't know either.
18?
Let's move you on to the map, actually.
18 for Kiva as well.
Oh, God.
And so your friends do as well.
Oh, this is
Down the
about
line,
to be
Ismark.
awful.
Ismark succeeds. Let's
That's
see
a
what's
boy.
the DC here.
Which one is
Esmeralda
Patrina's
fails.
Oh, shit.
Davian fails. Irina fails.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
God.
Fails.
Oh.
So, of those, I think Ismark was the only one who succeeded. So,
Yeah.
you watch as anyone who rolled below, I believe it's a 13.
It's just me.
It's a DC 13.
Oh
their
shit,
eyes
yeah,
roll
me
up
too.
in their head,
12.
all blood
Oh,
flooding out from their faces as they crumple to the ground with 0 hit points.
So, Amity.
What?
Hi.
And who's up? Who's left?
Me?
Lillison, Kiva, Earthrendeer, and Ismark. Everybody
Okay.
else is at 0.
Let's get everyone onto the initiative tracker, shall we? Got to start tracking those death saves
Yes!
Yes.
and get your girl onto the map.
Wow.
12.
And you can arrange your tokens as wherever you think you might have been.
Which one was the, was Patrina's?
Uh,
Oh, there. Okay, yeah,
right
I'll stay
there.
where I am.
Yep.
I would have been behind Randy because I pushed him towards the crypt, so I'll stay there.
20
Alright.
on initiative.
I think we're just waiting on Amy's
23.
initiative.
5.
All right. And what's Amity's?
10.
Okay, with that, let's start the round. Kiva, you're up first. Casimir's unconscious right next to you, and there is a spectral elf banshee screaming as she spirals out of the tomb toward you. What are you doing?
She
and
is
let
going.
me add her to initiative, actually.
Awesome.
All right. You're up first, Kiva. What's going on?
Kiva's going to recklessly attack with the sun sword twice. Rage first. Yes,
Very good.
rage
All right,
first.
what's the effect?
Sorry, give me 1 second. The effect
You're good.
is the creature takes 1d6 force damage every time I am hit with an attack roll.
All right, just remember that and let me know whenever it applies.
Got it. All right. So 2 reckless attacks with the sun sword.
All right.
Sorry, I'm like trying to click as fast as I can.
No, you're good. You're good.
First one is an 18.
18 will hit.
So altogether, that's 14 damage.
Okay.
21
21 hits.
and 8 damage on that one.
Okay.
And that sort of like aura, this sort of like pulsing aura surrounds Kiva that's sort of like a bubble around her. And that's the end of her turn.
All right. That is the end of your turn. Ismark chokes and looks around at Irina, at Esmeralda. Oh my god! He rushes to Irina and said, Irina, are you alive? And he will use his action to stabilize her. Making a medicine check. And failing, as her breath grows shallower.
Christ!
Irina has 1 failed death save.
Jesus Christ, oh my god.
Actually, no, not yet. It's not her turn yet, so he just failed to stabilize. I lied. We'll see what happens on her turn. Lillison, you somehow are still alive. What are you doing?
Somehow. Lillison stares at everyone around her and then stares directly at Erthrindir, and she says, "Is it time to fix this?"
He shakes his head. I've got it.
She nods, and then she kneels down and very carefully and tentatively puts her fingers on Amity's skin and attempts to stabilize her.
Okay, make a medicine check.
That's a 4.
Unfortunately, that's a failure. She is not stabilized.
Yep.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
I believe so.
All right, Davian is up. Let's see a death save. Same with Esmeralda. Davian has a 1. That's 2 failures.
Jesus
Oh my god, oh my god!
Esmeralda, 10. 1 success. All right. On that note, Casimir's up. Time for him to make a death save. That's a 5. 1 failure for our boy. Erthrindir, you're up.
So he's just staring all around, just watching Kiva engage this woman, like eyes wide in panic, breath heaving. And he looks like he's about to just start hacking at this banshee. And then he closes his eyes. No. Not again. Never again. And Metreon, Irina, Casimir, Davian, Amity, and Esmeralda, you all heal for 4 hit points.
I'll take it.
As he casts Mass Healing Word.
Oh, holy
Oh,
crap.
snap. All right, so Davian as Irina, Kaz, and Metreon.
Yes.
All right, 4 hit points for each of them.
And then he's going to hack at this thing with a sword.
All right.
Actually, he's about to hack at this thing with rod and scimitar, but like something seems to like pause midway, and he just goes in for a lightning lure instead.
All right, very fair.
Or nah, mind sliver.
Lillison
All right,
watching
I'll do
this
intelligence save.
slumps as if like a giant weight had been taken off her shoulders.
Yeah, Kiva's like crying and rage form.
All right, she fails, rolling a 7.
Okay, 5 psychic damage.
She will take it.
And that's his turn.
So let me just double check something.
The lot of you, we got this. Just stay safe.
All right, Amity, you're up. You're prone with 4 hit points. What are you doing?
Is anyone else still unconscious?
Everyone's up.
Everyone is up. Okay. In that case, this is tough. Amity's a little bit panicky right now. All she's going to do is retreat back here, casting a simple and quick Vicious Mockery as she sort of runs away from the danger.
Okay, that's a charisma save.
Strategically positioning herself. Wait, it's a wisdom save.
Oh, sorry, wisdom.
Yeah.
That is a 14 plus 2, so 16.
Ha. It takes 5 psychic and, more importantly, disadvantage on whatever it's about to do, as Amity strategically positions herself.
All right.
Or here.
All right. With that, that is the end of your turn. And Kiva, you see as this spirit, the banshee, pulls herself up to her full height, a luminous, wispy form. Her face wreathed in a wild tangle of ethereal hair, body clad in wispy rags that flutter and stream around it, a constant wail seeming to extrude from her body. She glares toward you, eyes wide and bloodshot with silver. Her gaze wild with rage and a madness that seems to take all entire of her. When her voice comes, it's the wheezing the wailing of the wind as she screams, "Can you feel them? Your bones breaking as you did mine. The blood vessels bursting. The muscles snapping. I felt them again and again and again. If I must dwell in this hell, I will drag you down with me." She lashes forward with one hand directly toward your throat. As she makes her corrupting
with
touch
advantage,
attack.
yeah.
But with disadvantage because of vicious mockery.
Cancels it.
Oh, right.
So it just balances out.
Just regular
That is a
rolls.
7 to hit.
Misses!
You bring up the sun sword, blocking her attack, her claws shimmering with wispy silver black energy that dances across her spiritual form. She howls with fury and maddened rage, springing back with pain from the touch of the radiant blade. That is the end of her turn. Metreon, you're up. You're prone. And you just got back from the dead.
Yes, and I'm gonna stay on my ass, but I'm gonna scuttle away. Away as far as I can from her. That's gonna be 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that's as far as I can go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just out of pure instinct launch a couple Eldritch Blast. Why not?
All right, that'll be at a +2 to AC, half cover because your friends are in the way.
That'll. Okay, yeah. So that's a 13 to hit, and
Unfortunately, a miss.
uh, 23.
23 will hit. Give me some damage.
So that's going to be 10 points of force damage.
She evades the first one, wisping aside like a cloud through the air, but the second one catches her, slamming her across the chest, and she goes spinning back for a few inches, her gaze lashing up toward you, burning with fire your age. Is that the end of your turn?
It is. I can move how many feet? 15 feet?
From
prone?
15 feet, yeah.
Okay.
From prone. And you still have your cunning action, I believe.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
Good plan.
All right. Go for it. With that, Irina will swiftly get up from her place on the ground, scrambling to her feet. Right. Do you all mind if I let you handle this one?
Please be safe.
She nods and she'll dash back behind the crypt, giving Metreon a nod. Kiva, you're up.
2 more reckless attacks with the Sun Sword.
Hit me!
18.
18 will hit.
Let me see what that damage was. Where is it? Oh my god. Wait. Where did it go? That's weird. Okay, never mind. 18 was a lie. That was a 13 and a 27.
Gotcha.
So
a 13 hits, as does a 27. What's the damage?
so the 13 is 8 radiant damage. And the 27 is 10 radiant damage, and then I'm gonna do 2d8 additional, each one of those. So that's another 7 damage. What's that, 23?
All right. In lieu of a how do you want to do this, I'm going to ask for a snappy one-liner. Because you got her.
Oh my god. See, the pressure is on. I don't know what to say.
You can do it. You can do it.
I'm sorry. Imagine it's something super witty. I do not want to take all of my time.
You just snapped off your sunglasses, said something great, and then it's just and it's like CSI.
Exactly. Exactly. This is why I was never an improv student.
All good. Beautiful. And how do you want to do this?
She's just going to give a look back to Casimir very briefly, and he can see, like, through the rage and everything, there is a bit of, like, sadness and apprehension, and then she's just going to turn around and square her shoulders and slice through from, like, the shoulder down to the hip bone, the Banshee with the Sun Sword.
She screams, her form crackling like static and then dissipating like mist into the darkness. And then there's only quiet.
Then she's immediately at Esmeralda's side and slapping her with a lay on hands, which might be a kiss on the cheek.
Esmeralda's eyes open wide. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, I did not expect that.
Kiva just pulls her into like the tightest bear hug ever.
She accepts it, and she's going to make an Arcana check. All right. Esmeralda will get to her feet unsteadily as Davian, choking, struggles to his own. Casimir slowly, wordlessly gets to his feet. And Esmeralda locks gazes with Casimir. What the hell was that? You didn't tell us anything to expect that. Casimir holds up his hands. Look, I don't fully know what you... Look, I couldn't have expected this. I knew that I had to come here. I didn't know to expect that. But we've dealt with it. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
How do you know she won't do it again if we bring her back?
You heard her talking. She wasn't in her right mind. I can handle her. Don't worry.
Casimir. How powerful of a mage was she?
He swallows. She was, rather exceptionally accomplished.
Better than you?
A might.
Splendid. Now, do you know if she'll come back from the dead with spells? Because if she does, we might not have time for her to be in her right mind before we are crushed by meteors.
I can't say for certain, but, well,
Can't
as
say
a
for
mage, look, her and I had learnt magic from the same source, the same mentor, at least to begin with. Both of we're scholarly types, like yourself. We carry around spell books. She hasn't had a chance to prepare her spells in more than 400 years. I reckon she won't have anything more to her name than cantrips when she's brought back.
Dragon,
Okay.
do I have any insight as to whether spellcasters come back from the dead with spells?
Make a...
As a spellcaster,
from your
you did
experience.
come back to the dead.
As a spellcaster, you came back with spell slots, but you're not sure how wizards work. You've never been a wizard.
I, in fact, have never been a wizard.
Does Aerith know?
Yes. If you're a wizard and you don't have your spell book, you have a lot of spell slots and nothing to do with them.
Kiva's going to look very pointedly at Casimir because she was spoken to directly by Miss Yelly Banshee. What did Strahd do to her to make her like that?
Look,
Fishing.
He attacked her. He came after her, twisted her. It was...
No.
All I know is she was suffering at the end.
Then why isn't she a vampire spawn?
Look,
What are you not telling us?
he takes a step back and then abruptly realizes that you've backed him against one of the crypt walls. And then lowers his
Looking
hands.
like murderous.
Make an intimidation check. With advantage, please.
14.
Fortunately for you, Casimir is not the most steel-willed individual. All right. It wasn't Strahd that killed her.
Then why is she down here?
And who did?
Because he grimaces and struggles to get the words out, but after one look at the sun sword blazing in your hand, appears to do a quick calculation and says, "She's down here because I did."
You sick fucking freak!
Look, let me explain myself. It wasn't just me. It was all of
You
us. We knew
brought
what had
us
to be
back
done.
here, knowing what you'd done. You put her in this state.
Look, I told you she was twisted. Zarovich had his hooks into her. We had to act. But
So
now
you murdered her.
We put down a dangerous beast before he could get her fully. That's why she's not a damn vampire spawn. I saved her from that existence, if nothing else.
A dangerous beast. Kiva is going to press the sun sword up into his fucking throat. Like, try me.
I regret what I did. I have sinned. I know it. This is my moment to make good on what I did. Please try to understand.
Give me one reason why I should cut your head off right now.
Because
Kiva.
if you do, then no one's gonna bring her back. And she deserves better than that, even if I don't. Kill me once it's done, I don't care.
Kiva.
She does not move the sword. She does look at Lillison.
Not all of us who have killed people have made our peace with that.
Kiva tightens her mouth and lowers the sun sword, but pulls Casimir by the shoulders and then smacks him into the crypt wall behind him, and just says, "You do what you're doing, and you're gone. Forever."
He chokes, wheezing, but nods. I will need Earthringer to make an Arcana check for me, please. Actually, your
Yes.
choice of Arcana or History.
12.
All right, no comment.
He can't leave. He promised to help us kill Strahd. He can do us the decency of that.
Yeah, he also said that, we were saving his sister from the vampire when he was the asshole that murdered her in the first place.
Point taken. Casimir, can we expect your help when you're done with this?
I promise you that once she's brought back, I will do everything within my power to assist you.
Insight check. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Everything within my power? What the
Go
fuck
for
are you
it.
saying?
Go for it.
Fuck. That's a
12.
4 for me.
12, you said?
Yeah.
There's a strange emphasis on everything within my power, and his gaze kind of darts up into the air for a second.
Aerith steps forward. Kaz, I'm giving you the benefit of this because I trusted you, and because you have helped save our lives, even if those situations were ones you brought us into. What are you not telling me?
Give me an intimidation check.
He
Kiva
wasn't
can,
trying to intimidate.
Kiva can, flare behind him with
I
murderous
mean, he was
rage,
trying
if
to.
that
He was
helps.
trying to persuade. He's
All right, make a persuasion
that
check.
That was legit.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not. He's not trying to do that. 15.
Casimir swallows, looking very unsteady, and then slowly, shaking, raises a finger to point to Kiva. Why don't you ask her? She knows what the spell will do as well as I.
What are you talking about?
Kiva, looks like something just clicked in her head.
Kiva, what's he saying?
He's useless to us after he brings her back anyway.
What do you mean?
What she mean?
After we use the gift, we can't do anything for a day. No magic. We're weak. We're basically, it's like we give our life energy with the spell. There's nothing he can do to help us against Strahd.
Aerith turns to him, and there is nothing in his eyes.
And he knew that coming here. And I was too stupid to realize it.
Did you know when we went to the temple, Casimir?
He certainly knew after we got the gift.
Yes, but this is important. Did you know?
He licks his lips and shakes his head. I didn't know then. I didn't know what form the spell would take. I didn't know how the magic would work. I didn't even know for sure that it was there. I just knew that when the spell came into my mind, when that thing reached into my thoughts and plucked it, leaving it there, I knew what it did and how it worked. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier, but I had to make things right. I had to make things right. I had to get here.
All right, then. So let me summarize the situation succinctly. You killed your sister, and you're trying to make amends. I cannot fault you for that. But, in the process of doing so, you will not be able to cast spells for today. She will not be able to cast spells for today. And, when you killed her, she was actively either charmed by Strahd or an ally of his. Is that accurate?
He licks his lips. Well, if we can find her spellbook, she'd be able to prepare spells.
That's not the question. The question is, if the last time, if she was if when you killed her, she was looking to join Strahd, then convince me that we are not reviving our most powerful
We're
enemy.
not. We're not.
Give me one good reason.
He goes limp, looking utterly defeated. And then makes a break for the crypt.
Can
Aerith's
Kiva try to
tackling him.
stop him?
Yeah, Aerith
With
is-
the sun sword.
Make initiative checks.
Okay.
All of us?
Are you trying
just
to
them?
attack him? Or
Kiva's
anyone
trying to,
who is...
Kiva's trying to
I'll say
attack
these
him
two
with the sun
first.
sword.
Okay.
Yep. He rolls not great on initiative. He rolls a 12.
Okay.
Why is it not letting me roll initiative?
Just
Okay,
make a
I'll
d20
just
roll.
mute.
It's all good.
21.
16.
All right, Aerith, your axe first. What are you doing?
Aerith, and this is very cruel, and he knows it is, puts Rahadan's scimitar to his neck. Casimir. I'm going to make
Oh, he's
you-
running. Like,
Okay.
this is-
No,
if you just
no,
wanna
no,
grapple
yeah.
him.
No, Kiva's
Like, you
gonna
got-
hit
Oh,
him with
wait,
the sun sword.
wait,
Yeah.
All right,
please.
sorry,
let
sorry.
me- Tell me the
Apologies.
situation, please.
He is actively running past you. If you want to act him, you either got to grapple him or you got to hit him. You don't talk. There's no time for threats.
God. I hate this. Aerith swings around him into the crypt, standing in front of Patrina's tomb, and raises his wand. And there is a blast of wind as he tries issuing from it, as he casts Gust of Wind.
Casimir snarls and throws up a hand and dissipates it, casting counterspell.
Ooh, hoo, hoo.
He stares him down. If you touch that crypt, you die.
He's going to keep running forward. He's going to try to barrel into you.
Can
All
the
right.
It's
rest
my
of us-
turn.
It's
Can the-
Kiva's turn.
Can the rest of us also roll initiative at some point?
Yes, I'll once Kiva's gone, anyone else can roll initiative.
All right.
And if
I
it
will
beats
say
Casimir,
that-
you can act before him.
From the battle, would it count that she's still raging or no? Oh wait, I can reckless without raging.
You can, yes.
All right, so you're attacking with the sun sword.
Yep. "28, 13 damage."
And with that, as the sun sword blurs through the air, flaring with radiant white sparks, Casimir lets out a cry as it pierces his side, slicing across his lower hip, and he crumples, unconscious, to the ground. And as his body lingers there, slowly bleeding onto the floor, as the water drips from the ceiling of the catacombs and crypts, empty, save for the echo of your own shallow breaths, that is where we'll pick it up next week.
Can we start next session with Lillison just yelling at both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, same, yeah. Like, yeah.
On that note, thank you very much to everyone for joining us today. We will see all of you back in the mist next week. So, until then, do steel your wills for the coming storm, and take care.